Essential personnel are to clear the controlled area for launch vehicle.
Right deck, that's GMP.
Essential personnel are to clear the controlled area for launch vehicle ordnance 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck and
Last chance to improve before district play starts. Thanks so much for joining us at Hale Memorial Stadium here in Farmington. I'm Chad Speaker, Luke Mell, my color man tonight. The Farmington Knights come in at 6-1 or 5-1. The Jackson Indians 1-5, so opposite records. Last week, it was a victory by the Knights, 45-7 over Poplar Bluff. You might have heard it on the Jim Ropke pregame show a little bit earlier on how that one went. Jackson gets out with a loss, just barely. They go to overtime against Vashon, had their chances, but dropped the game 22-14. Something we didn't touch on earlier yet, Luke. Doug Warren, one of the most dangerous weapons for Farmington, unavailable tonight. Got mixed up on a punt play and was ejected last week, so he will be unavailable for the game tonight. Also will be unavailable Tim Brett. So Farmington down a couple of pretty good talents, but for Jackson, well, their starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, Logan Wren, in street clothes. He has a boot on, ankle injury. So both of these teams losing key personnel. Last year, it was Farmington all over Jackson, 61-19. And like some of the programs that we've seen, improving but still young. And for Farmington, they want to take care of business here tonight and really go into districts playing their best ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackson, don't let the record fool you. These kids can play football. This program's proud. We talked about that in the pregame show. And, you know, they play some tough schools. They play a lot of schools out of the city, and 1-5 is their record, and they've been in a lot of close games. Cape Central, they only lost by 2 points a couple weeks back, and so they're going to give Farmington all they got tonight. They're not just going to lay down and give it to them. The Knights have to be prepared. They're down one of their big players, in Doug Warren. Luckily, they got a few other kids that can play at that wide receiver position.
We'll have your starters, we'll have your stats, we'll break it down for you, and we'll have the play-by-play coming up. But after this 1-minute timeout, it's a chat with a head man, Todd Vaughn, for the Farmington Knights, right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
The wait is over. It's finally here. Parkland CrossFit has opened their new downtown Farmington facility, the area's first and only CrossFit affiliate, specializing in elite group fitness, sport-specific athletic training, general physical preparedness training for all ages and skill levels. Our professional coaches are on hand for every workout. No more guessing what to do. Check out our grand opening September 24th, barbecue and fitness competition. More details on parklandcrossfit.com. Call or text 518-4393.
Todd Vaughn joins us on our pregame show now. And, Coach, a little bit of a challenge last week against Jackson, and your team came out in that fourth quarter with flying colors, 28 points. I thought it was nice to see your team challenged and then respond. What do you think about the way your kids handled that?
Yeah, Poplar Bluff came in here and played really well and did some good things, and they're challenged us in some areas, and our kids responded well in the fourth quarter. As a coach, you're always wanting to be better. I like that response has been a little bit sooner, but we played well in the fourth quarter. I just would like to play well all four quarters.
I asked you if pink socks on your team was going to sap their strength. You said I'm not superstitious, but in all seriousness, it's nice to have a football team as a vehicle to raise awareness for a student here at Farmington.
Yeah, and it's not just us. The cheerleaders, the band's doing something with the Jackson band tonight. So this was not my idea. It was a collective effort, and I think it's pretty much spearheaded by our band director, Curry Balke, and at least that's the guy who contacted me. And of course, we were all in, and you're right, it is a good thing.
All right, the game at hand now, Jackson and your keys against this ball club here tonight?
Well, I mean, it's really, really important that we get out and play well the first 12 minutes. And we need to make big plays and prevent big plays. I think if we do that, we'll be all right.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Todd Vaughn joining us on pregame. Back with more after this 1-minute timeout right here on KREI.
When Sheet Metal Contractors, Air Conditioning and Heating, Local 36 contractors, say they are the indoor air specialists, they mean it. Sheet Metal Contractors will tailor heating and cooling systems specifically designed for your comfort. They offer many services and products that truly benefit your indoor air quality, such as air duct cleaning, electronic air cleaners, electrostatic filters, humidifiers, and more for commercial, industrial, and residential applications. Call Sheet Metal Contractors in DeSoto at 337-2150, where excellence prevails.
Hi, this is Ann Java from Lon John Silver's and A&W, here to tell you about our brand new batter dipped fish bites. You get 8 fish bites, fries, and 2 hush puppies for just $3.99. Now that's what I call convenient deliciousness. Paired out with a frosted mug of made-from-scratch A&W root beer, doesn't get much better than that. That's Lon John Silver's and A&W, conveniently located in Farmington's Maple Valley Center.
I want to thank the third member of our broadcast team tonight, Kathy Capias. Always does a great job in the studio for us, engineering and operating the game for us. Our opening kickoff being brought to you by Bill Best Insurance, your American family insurance agent in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for its customers. Jackson in their white unis, red helmets, and red numbers and letters. Jackson actually won the toss, but deferred to the second half. So Farmington says we average 42 points a game. We'll take the ball.
Yeah, these kids are ready to go. Coach Vaughn said in the pregame show he wants to get after them early. Last week got a slow start against Poplar Bluff. He wants these boys to get after it. It's digging down in that late part of the season. You want to be playing your best ball all 4 quarters.
Only 3 points for Farmington against Poplar Bluff last week in the first quarter. 0 points in the third quarter. It was the even number quarters Farmington really made the other team pay. And like you said, they want a good early start here. And it'll be Jackson kicking off from our left to our right as Luke and I look at and describe the action to you. Stepping back to receive, Connor DeVault, the deep man, and I think that's Jared Dunlap beside him. This is a squib kick, and it's taken by the up man Kyle Hartrup. Hartrup stumbles at the 22-yard line, lunges forward to the 24. Starting lineups brought to us by Midwest Convenient Care, and Chase Busenbark will lead this offense. The senior quarterback, Connor DeVault, will be a running back. They'll have a bevy of wide receivers. Alex Sebastian out there. Evan Donovan, I think he's going to have a big game tonight. More on that coming up. A wide receiver. Also, Logan Bradley will get the starts from that wide receiver position. And the linemen look like this. Brendan Amsden, the center. Kyle Van Ness and Ethan Hennis, the guards. Brian Capias and Roper Garrett are the tackles. Average 214 pounds across the line. And it's actually a more even contest this week. In fact, Farmington has a 9-pound advantage per man against the defensive starters for this outfit out of Jackson. But they've got a backup nose guard that's 330 pounds. If he comes in, the advantage goes to Jackson in terms of
Sways pretty quick, doesn't it?
It sure does. Farmington football, they've got it at their own 24, 1st and 10. Busenbark back in the gun, hands it off to DeVault. Connor goes behind that right tackle, and as he cuts back, he slips, but not before he gains 6 yards. Connor comes in with 413 yards this year. That's 69 a game. Had a really nice outing against North County where he topped 100 yards. Fastball offense. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, keep an eye on 81, Adam Donovan, just like you said. He had a big game against Hannibal.
I think he could be important in this game as well. Kyle Hartrup gets just a little swing pass out to the left side, breaks one tackle, noses forward, and he's got an 8-yard pickup. So 2 plays and 2 successful plays for Farmington. Hartrup with the first down catch, and Busenbark with a swing pass over the left side. So he's completed his first try. Sebastian Hartrup off to the left side, Donovan, and Bradley off to the right side. The give is to DeVault. DeVault is swallowed and taken down for no gain. Terrific play by that defense by Jackson right there. Kyle Greenwald's helping out on the tackle. Greenwald listed as a backup linebacker, but actually gets the start. In the middle of the linebacking core, Matt Zeller and Dalton Humphreys. Jordan Jeffers, the other outside linebacker. Get it on the jet sweep this time, does DeVault. DeVault hits a man, then spins off of him, and he gains 5 yards. So DeVault with positive No gain, and then another positive. The defensive front looks like this for Jackson. Ben Rush in the nose guard at 210. Stephen Dunn, Jacob Jones are the ends. In the secondary, it's Brandon Wright and Devin Wolfers are the corners. Garrett Miller, Ty Seltzer are the safeties. Midwest Convenient Care bringing us our starting lineups. Busenbark rolls the pocket to the right side, looks downfield, fires, completes it. Bradley's got it at the 41-yard line before diving out of bounds. It's a gain of 18 yards and a terrific catch by Bradley as he had a defender diving right in front of him.
Yeah, Busenbark put it on the money, rolling out to his right. He just zipped it right in there. Logan made a heck of a catch there.
That's something that we've learned about Busenbark is he's equally adept at throwing on the run as he is in the pocket.
Yes, absolutely.
And he quick pitches it this time over to DeVault. DeVault trying to sneak in behind his left tackle. And a nice little cutback as he surges forward for 7. And boy, it didn't look initially like he was going to have a whole big alley to run through, but they strung it out to the wide side. The line kept pushing. And, you know, I think that Connor's pretty good at turning his shoulders when he gets contact, and he always seems to find 2 more yards.
Yeah, we've seen him all season long. He's run to the ball hard. And
Busenbark keeps it on a missed exchange this time. He just needs a little bit for a first down, but he pushes forward to the 20, to the 15, breaking through tackles, and it's a gain of 18 yards for Chase Busenbark.
Yeah, kind of a busted play there. Busenbark just showing off his athletic ability again. Once again, he sees that open lane. He's going to take off and just made it up the sideline.
Chase, a good runner and a timeout now by this Jackson defense. They look a little bit winded. 9:54 remaining in this first quarter. No score as of yet. But Farmington taking its first drive down the field. They've got a 1st and 10 at the Jackson 15-yard line when we come back in a half a minute on the Super Talk 800 KREI Farmington.
When it's time to paint, it's time to visit County Do-It Center. Whatever your painting project requires, they have it all. Their friendly staff can mix custom colors to complement any decorating scheme and offer helpful, knowledgeable advice. The Do It Best quality paint line is one of the fastest growing private brands in the industry. At County Do It Center, they have more than paint, lumber, and hardware. They have solutions. County Do It Center. They have 2 great locations to serve you in Bloomsdale and St. Genevieve.
First and 10 for Farmington. They've got it on the 15-yard line of Jackson. Twins to the left side. That's Sebastian or Hartrip off to the right side. Trips, and out there in a pattern is DeVault. So the backfield empty, save for the quarterback Busenbark. And Busenbark looks for an alley to run through. Stutter steps, goes through the middle, and then driven down inside of the 10-yard line. He's down to the 8 right there. It's a gain of 7. And pretty good, nice job by the middle of that line, opening things up after just a little pause.
Yeah, design draw play. He just got behind that big boy Kyle Van Ness and rode him up there for a few yards.
A couple of carries for Busenbark. He has 25 yards. DeVault is beside him now, and they fake it to him. The keeper from the quarterback, Busenbark, and he is slung down in the backfield at the 11-yard line. Great play by Kyle Greenwald, 5'11", 168-pound senior. We've already called his name a couple of times.
Looked like they might have had a little bit of confusion that resulted in that play kind of breaking up, not really going the way the Knights wanted. Kind of a short pickup there.
Loss of a couple there. And Busenbark, the quarterback. It'll be a 3rd and 7 now. Short 7, long 6. Take your pick. DeVault beside him. 2 wide receivers to each side. As Busenbark goes back to pass. Looks for Donovan in the back of the end zone. A turn and a catch and a score. Great play by Evan Donovan. It's a touchdown pass from 11 yards out. And there you go, 6-0 Farmington.
Yeah, Donovan made a nice play coming out of that slot. Just ran it straight up. Busenbark just put it over his left shoulder. He made a nice turnaround to that back and just brought it on in.
Here's the thing about Evan Donovan this year, Luke. He has 15 catches. He's got 6 touchdowns.
You got to like those numbers.
You can get him the ball. He's going to find the end zone. 8:55 remaining here in this first quarter. Logan Bradley on for the extra point, and he boots it up and through. 7-0. Farmington leads. 8:55 remaining in the first quarter. And we'll back with your kickoff on the other side of this 1-minute pause on KREI.
You could be the one that makes a difference to help change the world as we know it, simply by donating 2 tiny teaspoons of blood. Craig Thomas of Be the Rock Foundation is hosting a blood donation event that will benefit ALS and Lou Gehrig's disease research. This donation will be conducted through Washington University's Department of Neurology Saturday from 10 until 2 at St. Paul Lutheran School Gym in Farmington. Help Farmington's own Craig Thomas. Donate 2 teaspoons of blood this Saturday. For more, go to Be the Rock Foundation page on Facebook.
Stop. Don't do it. Don't buy a pre-owned vehicle without seeing what Auto Centers Bonne Terre can do for you. Hi, I'm Jason Hale, owner, Auto Centers Bonne Terre. And because we sell our entire inventory every month, I guarantee our cost is lower, ensuring you a better price better trade, and ultimately better payments. Come buy it right at Auto Centers Bonne Terre.
Lines up for the kickoff for Farmington. Farmington going to put it away from our right to our left. Back to receive Miller and Wright for Jackson. And Bradley squibs this one down the middle of the field. It bounces at the 25-yard line and covered up by Wright. An impressive drive by Farmington, Luke, that time. And they utilized a lot of yardage and quite a few plays, and they mixed the run and the pass very effectively.
Yeah, nice 10-play, 75 yards, capped off with that sweet 11-yard touchdown catch by Donovan. Coach Vaughn talked about coming out here and getting after Jackson early, and 3-minute drive, that's pretty much what he was wanting, I would think.
I thought Donovan made a really nice adjustment on that route. It was a well-thrown ball, but Donovan had to kind of turn away from his route to catch it. Did a nice job there.
Oh, absolutely.
So the quarterback, Ty Seltzer for Jackson. Seltzer going to go with the flea flicker on the first play, chucks it down the field, and in passes intended for Miller. Great coverage that time by Kyle Hartrup, who was not fooled, but you know what, Luke? I love that play call. You're the underdog. What the heck? Let's go for it.
Yeah, and that was probably something they've been practicing all week. They were going to come after him early, and Hartrup really didn't even know the ball was coming. It kind of just hit him in the back of the leg. It was a little bit underthrown by the quarterback Seltzer there, but great way to start the ball game either way.
I like it. Max Winchester is the center. Nick Keyser and Justin LeGrand the guards. Jeff Kennett, Luke Stevens, the offensive tackles. Out on a wide receiver spot, Brandon Wright is over there. Two running backs right here, Garrett Miller and Colton Proffer beside Seltzer. Seltzer rolls the pocket to the left side and completes a pass. Nice toss to Levi Rutherford, and Rutherford's got it for a 14-yard gain.
Two passes to start the game for the Jackson offense, something we really weren't expecting, considering that they're more of a run-first offense.
Well, go against your tendencies, I guess, right?
Well, we talked to Coach Hitt. We know we didn't get a chance to play the interview, but, he said he saw some potential in these football players despite their 1-5 record.
Well, and, Seltzer, just a sophomore, wasn't the starting quarterback starting the year. That was Logan Wren, who's out with an injury. And so, they're still discovering this kid's talents. Trips to the right side, one off to the left. Seltzer's back in the gun, looks to his right, now scrambles as he's under pressure, fires, and pass incomplete. That one just over the outstretched hands of Trey Forbes. Nice coverage that time by these Farmington Knights. Kyle Hartrup and rolling over Kyle Warren from his safety spot.
Yeah, really kind of surprising. That's the third pass attempt already. Sometimes 3 passes is all Jackson would throw in a game, and already capped that off in the first 3 plays.
Seltzer only with 11 pass attempts coming into the game. He's got 3 so far. The starting defense, Kyle Van Ness is the nose, Ethan Hennis the tackle, Jared Sumter is the end. Great linebacking core with Roper Garrett in the middle, Ryder Garrett and Brian Capias flanking him. Back in the shotgun, this time it's a handoff, and this thing's going nowhere. In fact, this is a 4-yard loss as the defensive line just smothering Colton Proffer right there. And they throw him back in the backfield there. -4 for Proffer on his first drive.
Yeah, Colton Proffer leads this team in rushing with 317 yards on the year, and Farmington's defensive line just came up the middle and stopped him for a loss, actually.
Fellas, we just talked about Sumter, Van Ness, and Hennis, and then in the secondary it's Connor DeVault, Logan Bradley. They play kind of the outside linebacker and also defensive back type slash positions. Busenbark, Hartrup are the corners, and Kyle Warren is the safety. Seltzer now in the backfield, sacked. Ball is fumbled. It's down on the ground. And guess who? Roper Garrett with one of our first big crown collisions of the game. They throw him down. Did they call him down? They must have, Luke. They'll spot it where he went down. That was all the way back at the 24-yard line. So another sack for Roper Garrett, and that's number 7 on the year, and it's a loss of 12 yards.
Yeah, Jackson actually really caught a break there, getting called down instead of turning it over almost inside the Farmington 20.
So the punter comes on, and this will be Seltzer. So the man we've been talking about as quarterback. Last week, a beautiful punt return. You missed it, Luke. Connor DeVault brought one back, and it was a beautiful special teams play.
I got to see him do it against New Madrid. Hopefully I'll get to see him do it again tonight.
Here we go. Will he do it? Seltzer boots it straight up, straight back down, and DeVault has it at his own 46, going over to that far sideline. Ooh, can't quite get by that first man. In fact, that was very, very good. The special teams coverage by Jackson right there. And Kyle Greenwald, we've called his name a couple of times on defense, and a nice special teams tackle for him there.
Yeah, Connor made a great play. Just kind of slipped up. Yeah, Greenwood got in there and tripped him up and might have saved a touchdown. You never know.
Here's that bunch formation to the left side. with 4 wide receivers shaped in a diamond formation. Now, last week you saw a wrinkle on this as they ran a skinny post out of it. First time we've seen them do that this year. The man on the island over there, Alex Sebastian, we're used to seeing Doug Warren as the man in single coverage on the other side of the diamond. Busenbark calls it out, flips it over to the left side, and hits Hartrip. Hartrip picks up 1 block, now 2. Hartrip puts his nose down, powers ahead. He's got a 10-yard gain, but a flag on the field.
Yeah, we've seen Kyle Hartrip take that play for a touchdown a couple times this year, and looks like we might got holding on Farmington's wide receivers there, trying to get that screen to go.
And, that's how it's set up when you have all 4 of those guys out there. Their job is to block. You find one man that's going to be the wide receiver there, and this time it'll come back. It'll be a spot foul, though, so we'll have to see where it occurred.
Looks like they're going to push him back from the line of scrimmage. Almost 10-yard penalty right there.
All right. St. Genevieve, homecoming lead against Perryville, 7-0. So quick score there, just like we've got a quick score right here. Boy, St. Genevieve now at 14-0. That was fast. And a 10-yard penalty. So it'll be a 1st and 20. First penalty of the game against either side. Bunch formation with 4 wide receivers off to the right side. They'll go back to the left to Sebastian, who's double covered, and a nice job of rolling coverage over there. That was Devin Wolfers there with the initial coverage, and then coming over to help Ty Seltzer. That was a nice job by that Jackson defense, I thought. It really was a pretty well-thrown ball, but just good defense.
Yeah, give Busenbark credit for putting it where only Sebastian can catch it, especially double coverage. You don't want that ball getting picked off, but you got to give credit to those Jackson defensive backs.
Hillsboro with an early 6-0 lead over Pacific as our scores continue to roll in tonight. Busenbark fires it out to the right side. This pass complete to Bradley. Bradley started his motor up. Boy, that guy started scooting for a 200-pounder, and he's got an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, we don't get a chance to see this guy run in the open field a whole lot, but, man, he took off. Looks like he gets to full speed in a couple steps, and you better watch out. I wouldn't want to get in his way.
So a 3rd and 9, more manageable anyway, as Farmington gets a little bit more than half of the penalty yardage back. They're going to run the ball on 3rd and 9, and DeVault doesn't pick up 9, but he at least gets Farmington in a spot where maybe they might think about going for this thing with a gain of 6 yards.
Well, I think they're going to, and I think that was the whole setup for that anyways. Farmington knows that they've got a good offense and they can control the ball, so they're inside their own territory now, or Jackson's territory, so they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
5:40 and counting down, 4th and 3 for Farmington. Busenbark fakes it to DeVault, keeps it himself, cuts back, and he's got a 1st down. Boy, you know what? If he doesn't cut back, he probably doesn't get that 1st down. Cut back, dove forward, picked it up, but a flag on the play again, Luke.
It was, and it's going to be holding on the Farmington Knights offensive line right there.
So the second holding call against Farmington in this series. And they say a 4th and 3 we can do. A 4th and 13 not so much.
Yeah. What a spectacular play by Busenbark anyways. Second effort would have been a 1st down, but the penalty obviously is going to push them back, and they're going to have to punt the ball right here.
So here comes Logan Bradley. And it's easy to see how far Logan Bradley can punt it, and he gets good height on the ball. But to me, I think he's a terrific directional punter.
Yeah, the kid, we've seen him do some amazing punts, and the special teams altogether has played really well this year.
Snap is good. Bradley has a top spin punt. This thing hops at the 22 and forces right back, and he is smothered there at the 9-yard line on an awesome special teams play by Ethan Hennis.
Yeah, Ethan Hennis just got down there. The kid didn't have anywhere to go, and what a great play on special teams for the Farmington Knights again.
Hennis is the deep snapper, by the way. So he snapped it, got all the way down the field, and made the play.
Yeah, that kid's a hustler, and I think there's a rule you can't touch the long snapper for at least 10 yards, and he takes advantage of that in full force and gets down the field.
Yeah, and, you will see the snappers a lot of time get tackles that way. Snappers aren't usually the biggest linemen. They're pretty good athletes, specialty guys. Trips to the right side. Garrett Miller, a running back, split wide to the right. Seltzer, the quarterback, has Proffer to his right. Seltzer back in the pocket, throws it down the middle of the field, and pretty good challenge for the ball right there. As breaking on the ball that time
Sebastian
was Alex Sebastian.
Yeah, he sure did. Another pass by the Jackson offense there, spreading them out. Not what we're used to seeing out of this Jackson from what we've heard all year long, but hey, they're going to come after this Farmington, and they're not scared.
I think also they probably have a decent idea they're going to have to score some points tonight.
Yeah,
you would think.
Farmington, like you said, they score 42 points a game on average, so yeah, you're going to have to play keep up.
Seltzer back in the gun once again. Oh, Roper Garrett just slammed him down to the turf, and he just barely got that ball out of there. Ty Seltzer. Woo! Woo! Roper Garrett. That qualifies as a crown collision hit of the game. My gosh.
That was a massive hit, and he's lucky he didn't lose the ball again. He threw it out to his left, and lucky it wasn't a lateral pass, and it could have been a touchdown for Farmington if they would have picked up that fumble. The officials said it was a forward pass, though.
Roper Garrett, nightmare for quarterbacks all year long. 5:17 remaining in this first quarter. 7-0 Farmington leads. Farmington had to punt it away on its last series. A couple of holding penalties by the Knights holding them back. Seltzer back in the gun once again. Pressured and taken down at the 5-yard line. Guess who?
Roper Garrett.
Roper Garrett.
Oh, he's a menace back there tonight, that's for sure.
He sure is. 77 tackles now on the year. Averages more than 10 of those a game. And another sack for Roper. His second tonight. His 8th on the year. And he's got a few hurries as well on this sophomore quarterback, Ty Seltzer. You know, for Seltzer, and I think you mentioned it, probably his most important, hold on to the ball. Just don't turn it over. And he did so, to his credit.
Yeah, and the kid can make some plays with his legs, you know, and we've seen that in his other starts. But they came out trying to throw the ball tonight and hasn't really been successful.
Seltzer to punt it from his own end zone. Garrett just about blocked the thing, but the punt is high, not too deep, and it takes a Farmington bounce. Farmington's going to take over this football at the Jackson 25-yard line.
Yeah, just an unfortunate bounce for the Jackson special teams. It bounced way up in the air, and I bet it came back about 10 yards. And Farmington's going to have excellent field position to start this drive.
And Roper Garrett just about inches from blocking that thing, and perhaps that was one reason why the punt went kind of up and down, high, and never really turned over. So that's why I got that good Farmington hop. Anthony Greco in the ball game, and he's going to be split wide to the left side along with Connor DeVault. So a couple of running backs out there, wide receivers. Alex Sebastian also. Hardtrip on the right side. He's joined over there by Logan Bradley. So Chase Busenbark all alone behind that center. And he puts his man in motion. That's Greco. Fakes to him. Busenbark takes it straight up the middle. Runs into a couple of would-be tacklers. Pulls them along for a couple of yards. And as he tucked his nose down in there, he gains about 4.
Yeah, nice little pickup on first down, quarterback keeper. You know, Coach Vaughn, reiterating it here, he wanted Farmington to come off. Their defense has been playing really well, special teams, and offense has been moving the ball. This is everything you could ask for in this first quarter.
4:05 remaining in this first frame. A 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard pickup by Busenbark. He's got 4 carries and 27 yards. Greco beside him now shifts from the left to the right side. And 3 wide receivers off to the right. Quick pitch, Greco. Greco cuts it up. And he's got a little seam, breaks one tackle, twists forward. Right hash mark down to the 10. A gain now of 10 yards for Anthony Greco.
Some nice solid running there by Anthony Greco. You know, it's getting a little bit of that backup experience is paying off right now. He's had some chances to play in the varsity levels this year, and, you know, filling in for DeVault as he split out at the wide receiver position right now.
North County leads Festus 7-0. Nice job by North County. Busenbark runs the keeper again. He's got 2 tacklers right in front of him and still manages a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, I had one guy to beat there, and he brought him down, but got it inside the, looks like about almost to the 5-yard line right now.
St. Genevieve rolling now, 21-0. The Dragons up on top, Perryville. 2nd and goal from the 6. Busenbark rolls to his left, looks into the end zone, nobody home. Now cuts back to the right side. One man to beat. Ducks back. He's down to the 2. Can't quite get in. Nice job by the closeout by the defense there for Jackson, but Busenbark with the good read. Shifted over to the left side, went back to the right, and now he's got him on the doorstep.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to pass it when he rolled out to his left initially. He apparently didn't see anything he liked, so he took it back around right and almost got into the end zone.
Look at this formation. It's a Wildcat formation, and Roper Garrett out there with Connor DeVault. Usually it's been Garrett lead blocking for DeVault, and that's the way it'll be this time as Connor puts his nose down, shoves for the end zone, and touchdown. Farmington, 3 times this season, Farmington has run the Wildcat with Roper Garrett as the lead blocker, and 3 times Connor DeVault has got in for the touchdown. 2:32 remaining in the first frame, and the Knights on top of the Indians, 13-0.
Yeah, a nice play, and, you know, anytime you get Roper Garrett up there in the front, he's going to make room for somebody because, I tell you what, nobody wants to get in his way.
Farmington now going to shift this thing. DeVault goes out as a wide receiver to the right side. They're going to go for 2. Busenbark rolls right, flips it back to the left for Evan Donovan, and a 2-point conversion is up and through. What a nifty play design. 2:32 remaining in the first quarter, and Farmington leads 15-0.
Yeah, a little play out of the West Coast offense there. Roll the whole line right and then throw it back to your left. to a tight end. In this case, it was Evan Donovan. Made a great over-his-shoulder catch. Wasn't for a touchdown, but a 2-point conversion sure is nice.
Sandy play design, and Farmington on top by 15. Got your kickoff coming up after this 30-second timeout right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Hi, this is Jeff at Cartridge World. Customers continue to ask which cartridges we fill. Well, that's easy. Almost every ink and toner cartridge on the market today. And a lot of people ask where we're located. Well, that's easy too. Right next to Fitness Fuel on the back side of the Maple Valley Shopping Center in Farmington. And finally, many ask, will I save money? The easiest question yet. Of course you will. We're Cartridge World in Farmington. We make it easy for you to save money at Cartridge World.
Well, Luke, Farmington took advantage of some awesome field position. In fact, they started their first drive at their own 25. They started this last drive at Jackson's 25. We'll get that touchdown drive recap from you after the kickoff. Logan Bradley to boot it away for Farmington and pulls that right leg back, slams it down the field. Ball is on the ground, but it is picked up and returned back out to the 24-yard line by Miller. So Farmington takes that short field and punches it in.
Yeah, it only took them 5 plays and mixed it up with a few running plays. We've seen Anthony Greco get in there and mix it up a little bit. And result, we saw that wildcat formation. Connor DeVault followed Roper Garrett into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown.
There you go. Farmington had that nifty 2-point conversion play design as they shifted out of the kicking formation, rolled everybody to the right, came back to the left side for Evan Donovan, and the 2-point conversion up and through. Farmington really starting to give their district opponents and maybe some people on down the line, if you get to the state playoffs, a lot of different formations and things to think about. Ty Seltzer, the quarterback, and we've seen them mostly as a running team this year, but this is a ball club that's throwing the ball here today. Proffer lines up with him. Oh, Roper Garrett once again gets into the backfield on the jet sweep. Garrett Miller came across the formation, grabbed the handoff, and Roper Garrett made the whole thing move backwards 7 yards.
Roper Garrett just doing it all today, lead blocking and getting up there and giving the quarterback and the running backs for Jackson a hard time back there.
Is he over? I mean, it's like he's got a free run out there. And you know what that means? That means Hennis, Van Ness, and Sumter doing a nice job tying some folks up front. Trip to the left side, one wide receiver off to the right. Proffer, the lone setback beside Seltzer. Seltzer rolls the pocket to the left, comes back to the right side, completes it to Forbes, but Forbes then is just driven down just as soon as he caught it. And Jared Dunlap jumped the route. He was all over that thing. It's a loss of 2 yards on the completion to Forbes.
Nice job with Dunlap, and then Brendan Amston coming over there and giving him a hand. And that's what you got to like about this Farmington defense. They like to gang tackle, as it's called, and that's just the result of good coaching.
Swarming the ball carriers and the wide receivers, and Seltzer hasn't had a whole lot of time to throw back there either, as he's been sacked a couple of times. 1:17 and counting down here in the first frame. Farmington leads 15-0. 2 wide receivers off to the left side. 2 running backs, Miller in front of Proffer, as Seltzer comes under center this time. They'll give it to Proffer. Proffer's going nowhere. And a nice play right there by Brendan Amsden. Amsden missed the first 3 games with a neck injury, but boy, when he got in the lineup, Luke, it wasn't like he was never gone.
Yeah, really. Farmington defensive line that's really, aside from that McClure North game where they were just up against some really good athletes, they played well all season long, and when Brendan Amps came back, he just made them better.
Yeah, they more than held their own, aside from, as you said, McClure North. McClure North, by the way, the Class 6 power is ranked 7th in Class
6A.
Yeah,
wow.
This week. Seltzer back to punt. And Donovan, the return man, he has his toes right around that 50-yard line. There's a flag and a whistle before the play ever starts. 32 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Now, the flag goes against Farmington. It's a 5-yard penalty, but it was a 4th and 18, so it's not going to change the play call here.
Gives Connor DeVault a little bit more room to run.
Is that what it is? Farmington will set up the return. They move 4 people off of the line of scrimmage. Seltzer gets a good clean snap, boots it away. It's a high punt, not particularly far. DeVault grabs it at the Jackson 48-yard line. And that's where Farmington will start this offensive series. 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter. If you think about how far that punt went, not so good, but I thought it was actually a pretty good punt. It was high and gave his return man a chance to get down there. And whenever you're not letting DeVault return the punt, I think you've done a pretty good job.
These Jackson coaches have seen some game tape on Connor DeVault, and one thing they wanted to make sure was don't give him a lot of opportunities to run it back on you.
Bradley White at the right along with Hartrip. And Busenbark rolls to the right, looks downfield, wants Bradley, caught the ball at the 33-yard line. What a terrific catch by Bradley on a gain of 14 yards. That's the second time we've seen Bradley make a catch while being just completely covered up, and he just muscles people. He's a 200-pound wide receiver.
Yeah, and, you know, he's getting an opportunity. He doesn't get to start at that wide receiver position too much, but we're getting to see him play tonight, and he's making some catches.
You got that right. 3 of them for 43 yards. Jet sweep. This is DeVault going from the right to the left side. He's got a seam. Connor to the 20. Connor to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Connor DeVault on the final play from scrimmage for Farmington in this first quarter. And that one goes 33 yards. Connor DeVault finds the end zone for the second time in this ball game. And Farmington now on top, 21-zip.
Wow, what a play. It was a sweep left. That hole just opened up. You could have drove that school bus through it, and Connor DeVault, no way was going to catch him when he got to full speed.
Farmington looking pretty sharp tonight. Lead of 21-0 on for the extra points. There's Bradley, who's having a fine game at wide receiver as well. He chips it up and through. Farmington 22 and Jackson nothing. 3 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Got your kickoff in a minute on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Mineral Area College, your next step to success. The opportunity is right here. You can have it all for less. You can be what you want to be. So come on, take that first step. Mineral Area College, your next step.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
Austin Dusel, the backup kicker, on to punt or to kick this one away, and it's going to be a throwback on the kickoff to Nick Cooper. Nick Cooper's then swarmed and taken down at the 20-yard line. All right, they're pulling out all the stops. I love it. Garrett Miller actually had that kickoff. He rode kind of into the middle of the pack, then looked to his left and threw it over to Cooper. They said, hey, we're going to try everything we can think of tonight. That didn't work either, but what the heck.
Taking a page out of the Tennessee Titans book there from the 1999 playoffs. Right. Worked out a little different for the Titans back then. Jackson, like you said, they're pulling out all the stops tonight and just trying to make something happen to give their team a little bit of a boost.
All right, we're at the end of the first frame. 22-0, Farmington leads. And we've got your second quarter in 1 minute right here on KREI.
Captain D's in Farmington announces their dozen butterfly shrimp meal with 2 sides and 2 hush puppies for $5.99. Plus, you'll get your choice of 4 different sauces like Southwest Chipotle, Brown Sugar Bourbon, Hickory Barbecue, or Orange Glazed Sweet Chili. What are you waiting for? Get to Captain D's across from the Family Center on Highway 221 in Farmington. For food you just gotta have. That's Captain D's, Highway 221 in Farmington.
If you or a loved one is ever in need of a crown for a tooth, you're expecting it to take days and several visits, right? Well, at St. Francis Plaza Dental, when you come to Dr. Mike needing a crown, you walk out from that visit with a crown. Technology allows him to take care of you in one visit, so your smile returns much faster and forever. Learn more at yourgentledentist.com and see Dr. Mike today.
I'm Dr. Mike, your gentle dentist. I'm gentle with people and gentle with prices.
We start your second quarter of play now, and we trade ends. It's Jackson with the football now on a 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They'll test the middle of that defensive front from Farmington. Farmington too tough for him there. Colton Proffer goes nowhere. Gain of 0 for him on that play. Proffer with a nice average coming into the game tonight. 4.5 yards per carry, but he has 3 carries tonight for -4. Let's thank Captain D's of Farmington, ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre, Benning Ford in Fredericktown, Earth Mother Health Foods, Belgrade State Bank in Deloge, Farmington, Potosi and Belgrade, Auto Spa in Deloge and Farmington, Midwest Convenient Care in Farmington and Bonne Terre, and Hood's Discounts Home Center in Farmington. 2nd and 10, and 2 running backs flanking Seltzer, the quarterback this time, Miller and Proffer. Seltzer keeps it himself, and he once again is crushed at the line of scrimmage. Brendan Amsden, and a little help from Brian Capias. So we say Capias' name for the first time tonight. Not to say he hasn't made a play yet, but certainly there to help out, and Ethan Hennis is in on the scene as well. Farmington, I think Luke looks very sharp tonight, and what is impressive is you see Jackson just trying to pull out all the stops, pull out all the gadgetry, and Farmington's ready for it all.
Yeah, and it all starts up front. That defensive line has just been manhandling that Jackson front guys, and they're getting in that backfield, and Jackson just really can't do much offensively right now.
And Farmington leads it 22-0. We've got 10:40 and counting down in this second quarter of play. Snap back to Seltzer, who's in the gun. Seltzer throws it out on the out route. Pass complete. It's not quite for a first down, but a good out play to Levi Rutherford, and a completion. We'll just have to see if it counts now with a flag on the field. Saw a couple of holding penalties against Farmington so far tonight. This is in that what folks call the holding box, and so we anticipate this might be going against the Jackson Indians. In fact, they'll talk to the captains of Farmington, and so they'll most assuredly take this one, and it's a hold, and it'll set them back 10 yards.
Wasn't even enough for a first down, but Farmington coaches want to go ahead and push them back anyways, just to make sure. And that's what Jackson's probably going to see, that little 5-yard out in the flat. You know, when they're getting that pressure like that, those quick routes are what you got to do to kind of open up the game a little bit.
Ooh, and that one was in the backfield, Luke. This will set them back, it looks like, even more than 10 yards. That's a 12-yard penalty. Hold, a spot foul. And they go with the straight eye this time. Proffer gains a couple of yards, not much more. And that's Roper Garrett right there. And
you got to think maybe some of the strategy on that last play, accepting that penalty, even though it would have brought up fourth down, is right now they got to make Jackson punt out of their own end zone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that a lot of what Farmington does, there's an eye toward special teams. I mean, to me, one of the strengths of Farmington is that all three phases of their game work together so well.
Yeah, and that's just a well-coached football team, and, everybody knows it. The Jackson team knows that, and, Farmington's made a name for himself.
So Seltzer will grab it in his own end zone. It hops in there to him. He does a nice job scooping it up and getting it off. Takes a back hop. And now Jackson covers it up at the 38-yard line. So once again, Farmington takes over in Jackson's side of the field. 9:39 remaining in this first quarter. 22-0. Farmington leads here against Jackson. Something they're doing tonight is a fundraiser for Rubenisha Jackson. She is a Farmington student that has cancer, and there are pink ribbons out. In fact, the Farmington Knights are wearing pink socks. The bands played together in support of that, and so doing some really nice work.
Yeah, it's a really awesome deal, and it's just not for her, but for everybody that has to suffer with that illness and disease.
Quad receivers to the left side, man off to the right. Alex Sebastian, 6'1", 160-pound senior. Busenbark fires it out there to the left side. It's taken by Donovan. Donovan's got a block to the 40, another block to the 30, to the 25, and ridden out at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 16 yards for Evan Donovan.
Donovan coming up with another big play, and, I think what's really not surprising to me, but you don't see these Farmington athletes, they catch that ball and they're at full speed in 3 steps, and they really got some playmakers out there.
Donovan on the outside on a 4-wide receiver arrangement to the right side this time. Same play to the right side. Donovan picks up a block. He's to the 20, cuts back. Might have been a face mask. He's to the 15 and driven down at the 12 now. That one, a gain of 12 yards. And I thought I saw a face mask, but could you tell there, Luke?
Well,
I'm not sure. It could have been a hold. I'm not sure.
Well, I definitely don't think it was a holding. It looked like the Farmington receivers waited to set those blocks up, but it's going to be a hold, it looks like.
Okay. And, I could have just seen when Donovan kind of shifted from his right to his left. Maybe he just kind of ducked his helmet when he did that. So I just saw his helmet go down. But at any rate, it'll be the third hold of the game going against Farmington.
And kind of surprising because we've seen them run that play so many times this season, and they've executed it perfectly here. They've gotten called for the hold twice on that diamond formation screen.
Sure have. Wide receiver to the right side, Sebastian. DeVault's going to be a man out on the route. This is the same formation we've seen the last couple of times, and Donovan, the wide guy to the left side. They wouldn't run it again, would they?
Well, why not?
1st and 15. Busenbark fakes it to him, so they've been setting up a play. And now Busenbark will tuck it and run. Cuts back at the 25. Noses forward to the 23-yard line, so he got the penalty yardage back, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. And a nice job by Sebastian helping him out with a block over there.
Yeah, it was. They were looking for the long pass down the sideline there, doing the fake to the screen, and it just wasn't there, so Busenbark made the play himself and picked up about 7 or 8 yards.
So 2nd and 10. And now they'll even out their wide receivers, 2 to each side. Flip it over to the left side, Hartrup. And Hartrup looked to get downfield before he had the whole thing secured.
Yeah, we've seen that kid make those plays. He's made some great plays before. And we've also seen him drop a few because he just gets a little too anxious before he takes off.
Haven't seen Farmington really go down the field a whole lot. But their short routes have been very effective.
Well, their deep threat, Doug Warren's out of the game today, so.
Yeah, Donovan's certainly capable. DeVault has a hole. He's in the 15. 10-5 touchdown, just as fast as that. A 24-yard touchdown strike. That's Connor DeVault, his 3rd touchdown run of the night. And for Connor this year, that's 8 touchdowns on the ground. That was a lightning strike. Man, that was fast.
That was kind of what I was hitting on earlier. These Farmington athletes, when they get into that open space, 2 or 3 steps and they're at full speed, and that offensive line gave them a big enough hole, and Connor DeVault was just gone. 3rd touchdown of the night.
Boy, it sure was. 33 yards on his last one. That one was 24. And Connor putting together a heck of a night of action. 8 carries and 88 yards for him, and 3 of those 8 are touchdowns. So the extra point is up and through, and Farmington leads 29-0 with 8:32 remaining before the half. We're back with your kickoff in a minute on Super Talk 800 KREI. Bilgren, I forgot to write down his 33-yarder.
Yeah, that was his first one.
That was his last carry, I think.
Yeah, 30.
Conveniently located in Belgrade, Caledonia, Deloge, Farmington, Potosi, and on the web at BelgradeStateBank.com. Belgrade State Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jeff at Cartridge World. Customers continue to ask which cartridges we fill. Well, that's easy. Almost every ink and toner cartridge on the market today. And a lot of people ask where we're located. Well, that's easy too. Right next to Fitness Fuel on the back side of the Maple Valley Shopping Center in Farmington. And finally, many ask, will I save money? The easiest question yet. Of course you will. We're Cartridge World in Farmington. We make it easy for you to save money at Cartridge World.
Austin Dussault on to kick it away for Farmington. Backup kicker, but a flag before the play gets underway. And once again, Luke, we see Jackson giving it to Farmington in their own territory, and once again the Knights make them pay for the short field.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Vaughn wanted to do, and just get after them early, and they've done that almost to a cue here in this first half so far, and all 3 phases of the game, they've really just taken advantage of what Jackson's gave them.
So the 24-yard touchdown run by Connor DeVault. Connor's having one heck of a game.
Farmington's utilizing that run game that, Jackson prides himself on their run game, but they really haven't been able to get anything going tonight. And they've even tried passing the ball several times, and Farmington's defensive front is just getting after them.
13 yards passing and a negative 21 on the ground for Jackson, Luke, so they have been certainly under control. The kickoff is fumbled by Cooper, but he picks it up. Now he's jitterbugging there around the 20-yard line, taken down just shy at the 19. Jackson's offense hustles back out. We'd like to thank a few sponsors: Show Me Rent to Own, Buckley Towing in Park Hills, American Family Insurance, Bill Best in Park Hills, and Mineral Area College. Oh, with 3 touchdowns running already. Connor DeVault's putting a bid in for our Mega Sports Player of the game. On defense, though, a couple of sacks by Roper Garrett and a couple of highlight hits, so he's putting his bid in on that side of the ball, I suppose.
Yeah, a couple of kids really standing out for Farmington tonight, even though the whole team's just been playing really well. Well, a few penalties on offense, but other than that, they've been playing pretty well.
So 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And the quarterback, Seltzer, gives to the running back. 4 men jump on top. Brian Kapowis in the backfield right there. First man in, Roper and Ryder Garrett, and Brendan Amsden. As if one wasn't enough. 4 guys meeting in the backfield.
I think those kids got a little bit of a wake-up call last week after not playing so well their best ball in the first 3 quarters of that Poplar Bluff game. Coaches got them ready to go tonight, though.
They did. Everybody just seems like they're just right on the edge, just so ready to go tonight. 7:50 and counting down here in the second quarter. 29-0. Farmington leads. Then it's a straight eye setup in the backfield. Seltzer, the quarterback, will bring in Jacob Jones
Jackson
as
call
the
a
fullback.
timeout.
Yep, timeout. and we'll step aside with them. Let's go take a quick break. 7:45 remaining in the second quarter, 29-0. Farmington leads Jackson, and we'll tell you more after this half-minute pause on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Hi, this is Ann Java from Long John Silver's and A&W, here to tell you about our brand new batter dipped fish bites. You get 8 fish bites, fries, and 2 hush puppies for just $3.99. Now that's what I call convenient deliciousness. Paired out with a frosted mug of made-from-scratch A&W root beer, doesn't get much better than that. That's Long John Silver's and A&W, conveniently located in Farmington's Maple Valley Center.
It's Sam Sism Ford Lincoln model year and closeout. Right now you can get 2011 Ford Fiestas, Focus, Fusion, Mustang, and Taurus at 2011 closeout prices. Plus, Sam Sism has SUVs and crossovers too, like Ford Escape, Explorer, and Edge. When you think Ford, think Sam Sism Ford Lincoln, the trusted name for Ford and Lincoln for nearly 75 years. That's Sam Sism Ford Lincoln off Highway 67 between Park Hills and Farmington. Ty Seltzer, running for his life under heavy pressure, ducks the sack attempt that time by Connor Duvall and manages just to throw it out of the pack and over to the sideline and incomplete. There is a flag on the field. The pass was intended for Trey Forbes. It was over his head. 2 or 3 defenders, and I think they're going to get Farmington for pass interference here.
Yeah, we're going to wait and find out. Seltzer tried to make a play happen. Yeah, they sure are.
You know, Todd Vaughn is going to be happy with a lot of things his team has done tonight. Penalties is not going to be one of them, though. 5 penalties for already 50 yards, Luke.
Not playing a real clean game right now offensively, and then that was a defensive penalty there that's going to give Jackson about 15 yards. And, you know, this Jackson team's really young. Got a sophomore quarterback right now and a sophomore running back. Like Coach Hitt said earlier, they got some kids that can play, so you don't want to give them too many chances.
We were sad to see Logan Wren was out with an ankle injury tonight. He had a boot on that ankle. 10 men in the box now for Farmington. It's a play-action fake. Seltzer rolls to the right side and passes incomplete. Not a bad toss out there. The coverage was just fantastic, though, and a great job by Kyle Hartrip again. He has provided some lockdown coverage tonight.
Yeah, he's right there in the receiver's hip, and that's what they teach you. Just stay on his hip and break up that pass. He got in there in between his arms and knocked it down. Great play.
You know, on the other side of the ball, a couple times we've seen great coverage staying on the hip, and I'm glad you described it that way because that's exactly what we've seen on Logan Bradley. He keeps him on his hip, and he's just too strong. He catches the ball anyway.
Right, yeah, that's what they teach you as a defensive back. You want to be able to touch that receiver's hip all the time, but
the give up the middle this time, and a spinning dervish is Colton Proffer. Proffer just kept the legs churning, turned, spun. He's got an 8-yard gain on a 2nd and 10, and another flag down. Ooh, this is a hold against Jackson. That was their best running play of the night. Well, too bad for the Indians. Good for the Knights.
Well, there might be a reason it was their best running play, and whenever you can drag another offensive defensive guy down, kind of makes a bigger hole for that running back to run through.
That's a good point, Luke. You make a good point. Proffer's best gain of the night. He has 6 yards on 6 carries. Let's thank Jim Ropke Shelter Insurance in St. Genevieve, County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve, Accent Marketing in Farmington, and Crown Collision Center. Also in Farmington, we look forward to our halftime show. Tom Lively back at the studio. Our halftime show sponsored by Auto Spa Car Washes.
Anybody that's watching or listening, the Cardinals are up 1-0 right now in the first inning.
Hey, that's good news, and that's against one of the best pitchers in baseball, Roy Halladay. Nice job there. Thanks for the update. Incomplete pass. Levi Rutherford tries to spin forward on an out route. Seltzer just left it a little long for him.
Yeah, and we're seeing a little bit of that inexperience, as a sophomore. He stepped in here and he's played a lot of varsity this year, and this is only going to help him for the future. And so that's something they got to look forward to at Jackson. But right now his passes are floating just a little bit high right now.
Well, I'll expound on your update. Furcall hit a triple to get on. Shoemaker had a double for the RBI in the first inning. How about a couple of extra base hits against Halladay early on? I like how that looks. All right, here's Seltzer now. He's got an up and an out route. Ooh, nice pass. It is man in the hands, Rutherford. But it just so happened that Kyle Warden was right there with him and stripped him right at the end.
Yeah, a lot better pass than we saw the play before. Almost the same identical route there. A little swing route from the running back coming out of the backfield. Kyle Warren, though, picked it up. He saw it the right play before, so played great defense, and even if it was a great pass, he broke it up.
I think the defensive back, well, we talked about, obviously, the great play by the defensive line. The linebackers are making big hits, but these defensive backs are providing great coverage tonight. Ty Seltzer, the punter. Seltzer now with his heels on his own 18-yard line. 6:56 and counting down here in the second quarter. Seltzer's done a nice job getting the punt high, even if it hasn't been that deep, and it picks up a Jackson hop and rolls down to the Farmington 38-yard line. Well, toward the end of this one and after the game in particular, thoughts of district play will come up. And the Knights district, certainly tough. Cape Central, Perryville, and Sykeston. A couple of those games last year, the Knights lost to Cape Central and Sykeston. I think that Farmington has an improved team this year, and we'll see how those two are. But, the coaching staff and players feel very good about their chances in that district. I do, too.
It's been a couple of years since the Farmington Knights have brought home a district championship, and that's definitely one thing these kids want to do. They want to win a state championship, but you got to do that. You got to start with the district.
3 wide receivers in a line. Jacob Baroni at the tail end of that on the right side. Connor DeVault, they'll get it on the left side, and Connor DeVault motoring along that left side line. Blasts all the way to the 40-yard line and a gain of 21 yards.
Well, nice play that ran that screen. We've seen DeVault lined up at a split-end position a little bit this game. I haven't really seen too much of that all year long, and when he got speed like that, you can pretty much put him anywhere on the field, just get him the ball.
You've made a note of this several times, Luke, but the coaches do such a nice job of simply getting athletes in space, and they get DeVault in space once again on the left side. It's the same play, and it's a gain of 7 this time. Something we are seeing the coaches do tonight is kind of double up on their play calls. Say one call works, let's try it again.
Well, and it's all about execution, and, whenever you're playing football, it's up to the other team to stop you, and if they can't stop you, why not run the same play over and over again, as long as it's working?
A timeout by Jackson. We'll step aside with him. Trying to slow down this fastball offense by the Farmington Knights. 6:16 remaining in the second quarter. 29-0 Farmington, and the offense rolling again. Back in a minute on KREI.
Are you ready for some football? A great football team must have speed, strength, and reliability. You should expect the same from your lawnmower. Hi, this is Clarissa from Fliggs Equipment. If you want a mower that works like a well-oiled football team, then head on over to Fliggs Equipment. At Fliggs Equipment, we have the area's largest selection of dependable, affordable, and quality mowers. Come see the family at Fliggs Equipment. We'll discuss your needs, your budget, and match you to a mower that best suits your needs. Choose from Hustler, Cub Cadet, Woods, or even a small Case IH model. We have what will fit you. Fliggs Equipment. Let our family serve your family. Fliggs Equipment, Highway 32 in St. John, and online at fliggs.com.
Connor DeVault is out and around. Anthony Greco in at the running back spot. Busenbark with a pocket collapsing around him. The ball is forced from his hands, and who should be right there in front of him? Anthony Greco. A play that was breaking down. The coverage was terrific. The pressure on the quarterback was getting to him, and yet it's a complete pass and a first down on a gain of 6.
Well, Busenbark had all the time in the world, and he just stepped up in the pocket. Offensive line did great, but they can't hold those guys forever. He got slammed in the back, and luckily Greco was there, made a heads-up play, and turned a negative into a positive there.
He sure did. Ball squirted right out when the line collapsed, and Busenbark got pinched, and ball went right to Greco. They give it to Greco intentionally this time. He skates through the guards, then keeps the legs churning, spins, dives forward, right hash mark, all the way down to the 16-yard line. A gain of 11 by Anthony Greco. A couple of carries for Anthony tonight and 21 yards.
Yeah, we've seen DeVault. He's been split out wide playing that slot position, and Greco's got a few carries in his place, and he's doing just fine.
That's where DeVault is again, and this time they give to Greco again, tries to sweep it to the left side, but the defense right there, that was Ben Rush in the nose guard that got into the middle of that play and then just hung on. A little bit of help as well on the outside by Ryan Harris.
Well, I think that's what's so great about this Farmington team, and Coach Vaughn said this several times, how deep he is at the skill position players. Missing Doug Warren tonight, you just fill in Connor DeVault in his spot, and then you got a kid like Anthony Greco come in and play the running back position.
And here's Jacob Roney now as you go deeper into that receiving core. They'll fire it into the end zone, and it's in the corner of the end zone. Did he get it? Did Hartrup get it? Not quite, they say. I thought he had our Captain D's catch of the game right there for a second, Luke.
There's no instant replay in high school football, but I wish there was, because that was a heck of an effort by Carl Hartrip. And it was right down here in front of us, so we got to see it all. It looked like he had it. He tiptoed on that line, caught it, just fingertipped it in. Unfortunately, it won't go down as a touchdown, but that was quite a highlight.
He tight-roped that baby. The throw was right along the corner of the end zone right there. And, you know, if Hartrip didn't get it, and I'll say the ref was in position, it was close.
It was very close.
3 wide receivers off to the right side, 1 to the left. Greco gets it on the sweep to the right side, ducks in behind the tackle. He's to the 10, dives forward to the 9, and it'll bring up a 4th and 1 or 2 for Farmington. Gain of 8 by Greco. Greco's, you know what he's done a nice job with tonight, and I think it's something that DeVault does really well. I think he's read blocks really well. His cuts have been right on.
Well, that's kind of how this whole offense is set up. It's a zone blocking scheme, and it's up to those running backs to make those decisions, which way they go. And
4th and 2, Busenbark pulls it, runs it. He dives to the 5, cuts back, dives to the 1-yard line. And a flag on the play, and it was thrown right at Jacob Roney, who was blocking right there in front of him.
Probably going to be a clip or a block in the back on Roney. Sure was.
Well, that's too bad, too, because Busenbark had a nice run. Most of the blocking was intact. In fact, you really didn't even need that for the first down.
And it's going to push them back and 4th down. They might even consider a field goal here.
Well, they're going to have a change of personnel. And so here comes the field goal team. It was a gain of 8 yards by Busenbark. A nice run.
Well, Logan Bradley's going to get another shot at it. He missed one over at North County. He actually made it, and then the penalty brought him back, and he missed it. I don't know, did he get a chance to make one last week?
Sure did, because Farmington had a first-quarter field goal, and that was it. So Bradley has a 31-yarder awaiting him here. This would be as long as the season. Last week was a 20-something. So Bradley looks on. Snap is good. Hold is down. Logan swings the right leg, and he doinks it off the upright.
Right off the upright.
Couldn't hit it. 4:21 remaining in the first half, 29-0. Farmington leads back in a half a minute on KREI.
Captain D's in Farmington announces their dozen butterfly shrimp meal with 2 sides and 2 hush puppies for $5.99. Plus, you'll get your choice of 4 different sauces like Southwest Chipotle, Brown Sugar Bourbon, Hickory Barbecue, or Orange Glazed Sweet Chili. What are you waiting for? Get to Captain D's across from the Family Center on Highway 221 in Farmington. For food you just gotta have. That's Captain D's, Highway 221 in Farmington.
Tremendous hit by Ethan Hennis. That was Colton Proffer. They got the football. Hennis beat his man and stopped him in his tracks. No gain by Proffer. 2nd and 10 upcoming for Jackson. They've got it at their own 20-yard line.
Once again, we got to talk about the penalties. This Farmington offense, you know, they've really shot themselves in the foot there. It was their only really offensive breakdown. They did punt it once earlier in the first quarter, but, you know, right there had an opportunity to score and just couldn't get it done.
They'll give it in the backfield to a different running back this time. That was Nick Cooper, but it's the same result. And I think that was Greco getting up from the bottom of that pile and made that play.
I tell you right now, you know, the Knights have got to feel pretty good about their position in this game, up 29-0. But those penalties aren't something you really want to see going into that district play. You know, even if it is a opponent you're kind of putting it away right now, there's something they're going to have to clean up and get ready for the next couple weeks.
3rd and long for Jackson. Ty Seltzer has spent this series under center, but he'll go back in the gun this time and deploy 2 wide receivers to each side. Beside him, Nick Cooper. The snap is over his head. It's heading toward the end zone. He tries to dive on it. Can't do it, but then it's picked up and rushed back out of the end zone 5 yards. Boy, Garrett Miller saved the day that time for Jackson.
Yeah, heads-up play there by Miller and saved a huge turnover for the Jackson offense. They're definitely going to lose some yards there and not going to benefit them. Looks like it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to make Jackson punt out of their own end zone once again.
A negative 28 yards rushing. Now, I mean, it's too bad that counts against your rushing yardage, but that's where it stands. It was a negative before that play as well. They'll have to punt it out of their own end zone once again. 2:44 remaining here in this first half. Let's thank Sheet Metal Contracting in DeSoto, St. Francis Plaza Dental in Leadington, in Farmington, Parkland CrossFit, Long John Silver's, Cartridge World, Sam Sism Ford, Midwest Orthopedic Group, McFally's Pizzeria, and Be the Rock Foundation, all in Farmington. I thought we had our Captain D's catch of the game. I bet we'll still have 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, we saw Evan Dunn make a pretty good catch on that first touchdown. It was only 11 yards, but he did make a fantastic. Maybe he had to turn around to his back shoulder and catch it. And
it was. Maybe should have done that there. Logan Bradley's had a couple of nice grabs.
Logan Bradley's made some great catches, out there in the flat. And for that man, Kyle Hartrip, he just missed a good one right there. And unfortunately, I guess he just didn't get that last foot in.
That was as close as you could get to a safety or a defensive touchdown by Farmington on that last play as the snap went over the head of Ty Seltzer. And in fact, Seltzer jumped on it in the end zone, and if he would have just recovered it, it would have been a safety. But it squirted free from him, and then his teammate grabbed it, and Miller brought it after the bye.
Heads-up play by the Jackson offense there not to give up on it.
Seltzer going to punt it deep in his own end zone, and Farmington, with 10 players on the line, look like they want to bring the house. He's under pressure, gets the punt away, and Connor DeVault grabs it, but then fumbles it, and Jackson hops on top.
Oof.
Jackson has it at his own 25. The interesting part of all that, Luke, that's not even enough yardage after the punt and the muff for a first down for Jackson, but it's a change of possession, so they get it back 1st and 10.
They're basically going to get the ball back at where they originally had the line of scrimmage and give it another shot. They got 3 more downs. See if they can get something going.
2:37 remaining in this first half, and 29-0 Farmington leads. I like the fact that DeVault hustles, though, to get that ball. And I hope he continues to do that, because more times than not, Farmington has benefited from that type of aggressive play. Seltzer grabs it, hands it off to Proffer. Proffer, a little guy, and kind of gets lost in the backfield from time to time. He's tackled one-on-one by his counterpart, the running back for Farmington, Connor DeVault.
Got a flag on the far side of the field there. Looks like it's going to be a penalty infraction up front. False start on Jackson right now. It's going to push them back 5 yards.
We've had some penalties, haven't we?
It's been kind of a sloppy game after we were kind of boasting about how well Farmington had played in that first quarter after a slow start against Poplar Bluff. They really kind of came out in the second quarter, played a little bit sloppy. I'm sure Coach Vaughn and the rest of the coaches won't be too happy with that, but, can't complain about being up 29-0 either.
Legal procedure sets Jackson back 5 yards. Hillsboro up 28-7 over Pacific. As our scores continue to come in, North County and Festus tied at 7. That's a good one.
I told you North County was going to give some people some trouble.
Well, they look like they're an improving ball club. Capias trying to track down Seltzer. Seltzer scooting forward. Did he get first down yardage along that left sideline? He did. Nice run by Seltzer. That's a gain of 17 yards.
And right now, I think that's where you're going to see Seltzer. That's where he's going to benefit his team the most is with his legs. That kid can get out there, and he gets out in the open. He can make some plays in the running game. And he's got a good arm, but right now just isn't as accurate as he should be. Or, he's coming along. He's only a sophomore. I say as he should be, but, he's not quite there yet.
Seems like that's the development of quarterbacks. You start with being a great athlete, and then you develop into being a great quarterback, and that's where he's at right now. Seltzer, very good athlete, back in the pocket, throws it on a curl route to the outside, and his man dropped it, and then Levi Rutherford says, how could I have done it?
Wide open. And, that was the case last week, too. Coach Fitz said that they just dropped a wide open pass there in the end zone, and that was just something that they're going to have to get better at if they want to win some ball games.
They did. They fumbled at the 1. They dropped the pass at the 5 that looked like it was going to be a TD, and this was a game that they lost in overtime to Vashon. Proffer, lone setback. They'll run Miller wide to the right side with 3 wide receivers there, 1 off to the left. It's a 2nd and 10. And now the motion man is Proffer off to the left side. They'll isolate Seltzer, and it's just a straight quarterback keeper. He's got some room. Oh, Seltzer, look at him go. Nobody's close to the 20, to the 10, and it's a touchdown for Jackson. 2:08 remaining in this first half, 29-6. Jackson breaks loose on a 63-yard run by Ty Seltzer.
I just got done saying how that kid can make some plays with his legs, and he sure did. Something we've seen Chase Busenbark do a couple times this year. He just read his blocks right and got in that open field, and once he hit full speed, there wasn't any catching him.
You did just say that, didn't you? It's a swinging gate formation by Jackson, and they'll bring the line from the left hash marks back over to the right side. In the middle of the field, Adam Brown, the kicker. Seltzer's the holder. Seltzer does a lot for this team. And the snapper, Matt Zeller. So the snap is good, the hold is down, and the kick sails through. 2:08 remaining before halftime. 29-7. And a big play by Jackson puts them on the board. Got your kickoff in a minute. Right here on Super Talk 800. KREI Farmington.
The need it, want it, rent it, own it. Come to Show Me Rent to Own.
Hi, I'm Gary Romine, owner of Show Me Rent to Own. If you can hear this ad, then there's a Show Me Rent to Own location near you. Want a new laptop or big screen TV? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. Need a new washer and dryer? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. We have what you want and need. Want it, need it, rent it, own it. Show Me Rent to Own.
The Show You Rental Company of the Show Me State.
There are plenty of ways to get from point A to point B. Van, sedan, sports car, muscle car, pickup, and Shelter Insurance has covered plenty of miles in cars and drivers since 1946 with a combination of competitive rates, helpful agents, and speedy claim service. Truth is, we like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. Seek shelter today at shelterinsurance.com.
Hi, this is Jim Ropke, your Shelter Insurance agent. Come see me for all your insurance needs.
29-7, and the crowd happy to hear the PA man announce that the Cardinals are leading 1-0 in the decisive Game 5 of the NLDS at Philadelphia. It's an onside kick, and this one does not go the way Jackson wanted. I think half of their team was offsides.
It was, and I don't know if they're even going to call a number here. Just going to say offsides on the Jackson.
I think that was on the Jackson 5.
Yeah, the Jackson 5. Tito. That was on Tito, actually.
That was on Tito. I think Latoya perhaps was offsides there as well.
Well, going back to that last drive by Jackson offense, I mean, that was really set up by that fumble by Connor DeVault on that punt return. Jackson got a second shot at that drive, started on their own 20-yard line, and after only about 4 or 5 plays, Tyler Seltzer there got out in the open, and there wasn't no stopping him after he got out there.
You're right. They got the ball back, didn't they? In fact, it looked like either a touchdown or a chance at a safety for Farmington. Then the ball squirted free, and it was Jackson getting it back, and then the fumble after that. So another onside kick attempt. Farmington ready for that. 2:07 remaining in this first half. 29-7. Farmington on top. They've got the ball at the 45-yard line of Jackson. We're going to count up the number of times Farmington has started with possession.
I don't really know if I like that call by Jackson there. I mean, they knew it was coming, and you know how deadly this Farmington offense can be.
And then here's Connor DeVault. He cuts back, sweeps to the right side. A first down and more, a gain of 13. And one of those shoestring tackles right there. It was a pretty sure-handed tackle just to keep that one from being a touchdown. Kyle Greenwald. Kyle Greenwald's done a nice job tonight.
He sure has.
101 yards now for Connor DeVault, so he's got a 100-yard first half after that 13-yard pickup. Busenbark back to pass. Looks downfield, nowhere to go. Picks up a block, now 2. Drifting over to the left side of the field. Wants to run it now, picks up another block. He's got it at the 30, picks up another block. Pushes it down to the 26, and a gain of 6. Great job by his teammates helping him out there.
He got some great blocks there, rolled all the way out to the right, didn't see any light. Basically ran about 56 yards on that play, but only netted about 6.
And 1 minute and 30 seconds and counting down in this first half. Busenbark back in the gun. DeVault deciding to the right. Twin receivers to each side. Busenbark barks it out, rolls to the right, has done of it, cuts back, now dives just across the 20-yard line. Going to be a first down and a gain of 7 with 70 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, going back to that second onside kick that started this drive, they tried it and got the offsides, and so Farmington was going to expect it. I know you want to get some momentum, but just seems like kind of a big risk when you know how high octane Farmington's offense
Well, and you give him a short field with just 2 minutes left, Luke, So Busenbark has it, rolls to his left, fires it near the end zone, a diving effort, and complete. It's a 15-yard gain. There's Alex Sebastian.
Nice play. Is that the first catch for him tonight? And he makes a heck of a one down there right in front of the goal line. Really going to set up Farmington for a good opportunity here with just over a minute left.
Minute and counting down. Busenbark has it on a 1st and goal. Ball at the 5-yard line. Chase calls it, fires it to the end zone. Sebastian holds on. Touchdown, Farmington. A 5-yard strike. Busenbark connecting with Alex Sebastian 2 plays in a row, and this time it yields 6 points. 51 seconds remaining in the first half. Farmington 35, Jackson 7.
Yeah, that was a great play. Lined them up, singled them out there on the left. He just ran the slant pattern, fought that defensive back off on his left shoulder, and Busenbark stuck the ball right in his gut there, and he did a great job of hanging on as he went to the ground.
Logan Bradley on for the extra point. And the coverage was right there. It was just too good of a throw and catch. And Bradley's extra point is through. So 36-7, and Farmington leads it. 51 ticks remaining in the first half. Back with your kickoff in a minute on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Are you ready for some football? A great football team must have speed, strength, and reliability. You should expect the same from your lawnmower. Hi, this is Clarissa from Fliggs Equipment. If you want a mower that works like a well-oiled football team, then head on over to Fliggs Equipment. At Fliggs Equipment, we have the area's largest selection of dependable, affordable, and quality mowers. Come see the family at Fliggs Equipment. We'll discuss your needs, your budget, and match you to a mower that best suits your needs. Choose from Hustler, Cub Cadet, Woods, or even a small Case IH model. We have what will fit you. Fliggs Equipment. Let our family serve your family. Fliggs Equipment, Highway 32 in St. John, and online at fliggs.com.
Well, Farmington turns the tables, and they go for the quick onside kick. Stephen Dunn, though, covers it up. Nice job by Dunn. He's the sure-handed up man right there on that line. 50 seconds left in the first half, 36-7. Farmington leads here. What an efficient drive by the Farmington Knights there as they move it 45 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, it all started with that second onside kick attempt. They knew it was coming, and they just got all over it, and then after that, it was only about 4 or 5 plays at the end zone.
Cy Seltzer drops back, and he's swarmed and covered and sacked again by Roper Garrett. Garrett's third sack of Seltzer tonight. It's a loss of 10.
That Farmington defensive line, it's the one. They've been playing great all night. You know, we've seen some penalties in other aspects of the game. Wide receivers have been getting some holding penalties and some offensive line issues, but defensive line has just really been getting after the Jackson offense tonight.
Ty Seltzer has runs of 17 and 63 yards, so that's 80 yards, right, if I'm doing my math. But yet his net for the game, only 43, because he's been sacked so much by Roper Garrett.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to count that. You know, when you look at the whole number like that, yeah, you know, he's trying to make some plays for his team right now, and like I said, that Farmington defensive line has just been in that backfield all night long, not giving him a lot of opportunities to get set and throw. He's been chased around, but whenever he's had some designed run plays, he's made some pretty good plays, I think.
And you know, we'll credit them now. That touchdown run, that was impeccably blocked. There's a helicopter coming in. The hospital just right to the north here of the field, and both bands sporting T-shirts that say, "Don't stop believing we can beat cancer." Think they'll play some Journey at halftime for us?
Well, we can only hope so. I know you're a big Journey fan. And,
I like Journey. All right, so Seltzer's got it on the shotgun snap, and this kid's just trying to run for his life right there, and Ethan Hennis will sack him. That'll be a loss of 4 yards that time, and now Farmington calls a timeout. They say, well, the heck, we've got a chance to maybe get this thing back.
Yeah, 33 seconds there, and why not? They want to pile it on, you know. Right now they got a chance to go into halftime and maybe come out with a running clock, and you never know. That's something I'm sure that they can hang their hats on after they've kind of had the beginning of the second quarter was a little bit sloppy with the penalties, and then with the turnover on special teams. Had a nice drive on offense a while ago, though, that turned out to benefit them, and their defense has been playing pretty good.
Jackson has never defeated Farmington in conference play.
Since they've been in the same conference.
Right, since they've been in the same conference. Farmington a winner last year, 61-19. Farmington won by 10 in 09, 30-20, and then an incredible victory in 08, 42-38. Jackson actually was up 12 points with 6 minutes remaining.
I remember that game. That was a shootout, and Zach Hibbets just played his heart out in that game and brought the Knights out on top, and Jackson actually had a pretty good year that year.
Farmington blocked the punt to set up the go-ahead score in that one. Here's Proffer riding through the middle of the line for a 6-yard gain. And Farmington forcing a 4th down and long here.
It doesn't look like they're going to stop the clock, though.
Nope. And Jackson will not need to run another play. So that's how we will go to the half, with Farmington on top, 36-7. You take out only one play in this game, that touchdown run, and Farmington completely dominating the action. But you can't take it out.
No, and, Farmington, they did some good things. We've seen them play a little bit sloppy at times. Overall, I think they played a little bit better first half than they did last week, and Coach Vaughn emphasized how he wanted to come out and put his foot on the gas and really come after these guys and play well for 4 quarters, over through the first 2 right now, and up right now, so 36-7. He's got to be happy with the score, and with most of the effort his guys gave, I'm sure he's going to go over a few things at halftime, and we'll see what happens in the second half.
All right, Tom Lively will go over a few things at halftime as well. So we've got your Auto Spa Car Wash halftime show with Tom Lively coming up next. At the half, it's Farmington 36 and Jackson 7. Belgrade State Bank is family-owned and has been delivering personalized service since 1906. They're your community bank. Come in now to open a new checking account and receive a free gift. You can also sign up to receive text alerts. Belgrade State Bank offers online banking and bill pay for its customers. They're conveniently located in Belgrade, Caledonia, Deloge, Farmington, Potosi, and on the web at belgradestatebank.com. Belgrade State Bank, member FDIC.
We hope you never need us, but when you do, Midwest Convenient Care will be there. From high fevers to broken bones, walk into either of our locations and you will be greeted by caring and professional staff.
I'm Dr. Guy Roberts, one of the physicians at Midwest Convenient Care. Nothing is more important than your family's health. That's why we're here.
Midwest Convenient Care, next to Lowe's in Farmington and behind Dairy Queen in Bonne Terre, or online at MidwestConvenientCare.com. Midwest Convenient Care, we're there when you need us.
Welcome in. It is the Auto Spa Car Wash Halftime Show on AM 800 KREI. We take a look at the scores from around the area. First, the J98 update game of the week, where the Central Rebels leading the Potosi Trojans 7-0. Also, we have Farmington leading Jackson here on AM 800 KREI. St. Genevieve, homecoming 47, Perryville, nothing. North County and Festus tied, getting ready to go into the third quarter at 7. DeSoto 13, Windsor, nothing. Herculaneum 8, Charleston 6, the last we heard. Hillsboro 37, Pacific 7, that late in the second quarter as well. Redbud leading Jefferson R7 at the half, 27-0. We will hear from Coach Paul Sauer from the St. Vincent Indians next on the Auto Spa Car Wash Halftime Show on Regional Radio. ProCare Automotive Repair in Bonne Terre is a family-owned and operated automotive repair facility with ASC certified technicians that bring dealer quality services, better prices, and convenience. ProCare Automotive Repair, AAA approved and recognized by the ASE. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty. Drive away with confidence, not questions. ProCare Automotive Repair, where
it's repaired once, it's repaired right. See my daddy at ProCare Automotive Repair. 358-1112.
Welcome back on the Auto Spa Car Wash Halftime Show on Regional Radio. Proud to be joined by Paul Sauer, the head coach of the St. Vincent Indians. They played earlier this week and defeated Grandview 35-20. First off, congratulations on the win, Coach.
Well, thank you. It was good to get one under our belt and get back on the winning track.
Now, what was the reason for the game earlier in the week?
Well, we the last 2 years here in this cycle, we've had a scheduling kind of snafu where we kind of double booked, and the only way to solve it was to try to play 3 games in the 2-week span. So we played Crystal City on Thursday night, and 5 days later on Tuesday we played Grandview, and then 5 days later on Saturday, tomorrow, those 2 teams play each other.
Very good. So you have until next Friday until you play your next game, correct?
Yes, we are off until the district start next week against Chaffee.
Well, I mean, that gives your team, it's kind of an advantage there, at least I would think it is, to have that extra time before you go into districts.
Well, it is, and, you're kind of, the con to that is that it is a short planning time between Thursday night game with Crystal City, and then playing the following Tuesday against Grandview. But yeah, I mean, we're happy to have that time to spend and concentrate, maybe heal up a little bit before we play Chaffee.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Before we go into districts, kind of recap the team for us. How is everyone health-wise, and how is the team looking?
Well, we're 4-3 on the year, and we're pretty healthy. We've got a couple of kids. Sean Martin's still out with a concussion, and it's kind of day-to-day thing with him as to when he'll be returning. And this time of year, the typical bumps and bruises, and hopefully, like I said, we get 10 days here to get healed up and be ready to go for the district.
Of course, also this time of year is when the colds and everything start kicking in. Everybody okay as far as that goes?
So far, I was under the weather here the last couple of days. Had to take a couple of days just to get over it. But yeah, a lot of sinus problems with some of our players, and a couple of cases of stomach flu. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
How is the district? How is your district looking this season?
Well, we open up with Chaffee, who is a lot like us. They play Malden this evening, and we've scouted them a couple of times already, and then they're going to give us all we want. And then the next week we've got Valley, and of course they're state ranked, and they're going to be definitely all we want. And then we finish off the third week with Cleveland NJROTC out of St. Louis.
Very nice. Well, the Indians definitely with the win over Grandview, the extra time to practice, going into districts. What are some of the things that you are working on in those extra days of practice? Just the same stuff, or are you working on special things that the team needs to improve on?
Well, we've been having trouble tackling, and we worked a lot on that this week here. Next week we'll do a little more of the same, and then getting a lot of our timing down on offense. We do some good things at times, but there's still plenty that we can work on.
Who are some of the key players that you are going to look to get you through these district games?
Well, our three captains, Timmy Schumer at quarterback, he's going to have a good district in decision making, and Derek Jocker's going to have to run the ball well for us, and Taylor Sauer's going to have to play excellent defense and catch the ball when we throw it to him. Along with a lot of young kids, we start several sophomores: Alex Winkler, Levi Gatto, and Vince King and Robbie Wingeter. So those guys are all going to have to play like they're juniors. Most of them have played quite a bit so far this year, and we're expecting big things out of them.
Coach Sauer, anything else that you would like to add?
Well, I just hope we get a big crowd out the next 3 weeks here and support us, and hopefully, the Indians can get back on the winning ways and advance into the playoffs.
Thank you so much for your time this evening. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Once again, Coach Paul Sauer of the St. Vincent Indians during the halftime show here on Regional Radio. It is the halftime show here on AM 800 KREI Auto Spa Car Wash halftime show. We take a look at some of the highlights on our J98 game of the week between North County and Festus. North County homecoming, and North County would start things off right for homecoming.
5 yards off the line of scrimmage will be Compton from the shotgun, and Ryan flanking him to his left. Behind a young offensive line, handoff right side. It's Ryan to the goal line. Touchdown! North County Raiders take a lead. They're up 6-0 over Festus.
And it would be 7-0 after the extra point. Would be good, but Festus would make a nice 38-yard run close to halftime.
Goddard brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Nobody in the backfield. Receivers left and right. Big rush. Now he steps up in the pocket, avoids the tackle, and now he's got room to run. Inside the 20, inside the 10, 5, Touchdown, Blake Goddard from 38 yards out.
Extra point would tie things up at halftime, a 7-7. Festus and North County, they are in the third quarter on J98 the boot. The last update from AM 1400 KJEF, well, DeSoto would put the ball in the end zone for the first points of the game.
White cuts it back in. Inside the 5 he goes. He fights his way to break the plane. Touchdown. Again, yardage after contact for Jared White. He scores on a 13-yard run on a fourth down play.
Extra point would make it 7-0 on Windsor's next possession. They would throw an interception, which a few plays later would mean another 6 points for DeSoto.
Offset eye, pitches right side to White, cuts it back inside. At the 30-yard line, now running to the near side to the 25-20. Down to the 10, 5, and touchdown. Jared White takes it in for the score. 31-yard run for DeSoto.
And that would be the halftime score, 13-0 DeSoto on the top of Windsor. Then, of course, the exciting game here on AM 800 at KREI. Exciting meaning a lot of points for the Farmington Knights. Here is their first score.
As Busenbart goes back to pass, looks for Donovan in the back of the end zone. A turn and a catch and a score. Great play by Evan Donovan.
Extra point good. Farmington up 7-0. Farmington would add another touchdown with this run by Connor Duvall.
Usually it's been Garrett lead blocking for Duvall, and that's the way it'll be this time as Connor puts his nose down, shoves for the end zone, and touchdown. Farmington, 3 times this season, Farmington has run the Wildcat with Robert Garrett as the lead blocker, and 3 times Connor Duvall has got in for the touchdown.
They would go for 2. It would work for them, 15-0 the Knights, but they would not stop there.
Jet sweep. This is Duvall going from the right to the left side. He's got a seam. Connor to the 20. Connor to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Connor Duvall.
Extra point would make it 22-0 Knights. Farmington once again.
Duvall has a hole. He's to the 15. 10-5 touchdown. Just as fast as that. A 24-yard touchdown strike. That's Connor Duvall, his 3rd touchdown run of the night.
After 29 points, it would finally be Jackson's turn to score late in the second.
Proffer, lone setback. They'll run Miller wide to the right side with 3 wide receivers there, 1 off to the left. It's a 2nd and 10. And now the motion man is Proffer off to the left side. They'll isolate Seltzer, and it's just a straight quarterback keeper. He's got some room. Oh, Seltzer, look at him go. Nobody's close to the 20, to the 10, and it's a touchdown for Jackson.
But Farmington not happy about that. They would still have time to punch another in before half.
So Busenbark has it, rolls to his left, fires it near the end zone, a diving effort, and complete. It's a 15-yard game. There's Alex Sebastian.
36-7 Farmington, your halftime score here on the Auto Spa Car Wash Halftime Show on Regional Radio.
Hey, sports fans, this is Bill Best, your American Family Insurance agent. Everyone enjoys watching their favorite team make the big plays. We here at Bill Best Insurance are committed to making the plays for our customers. American Family Insurance has built its reputation on quality service and a broad range of products such as homeowners, auto, business, health, and life insurance. That's why we ensure an enduring commitment to personal service. Join the winning team at Bill Best Insurance, your American Family Insurance agent.
See Bill Bass, your American Family Insurance agent in Park Hills.
We'll run down the scores one more time, then we'll send it back out to Chad for the second half of the Farmington night football game between Jackson and the Knights. Central on top of Potosi, 9-0 late in the second. That is our update game on J98. Farmington with a commanding lead over Jackson here on KREI, 36-7. We're getting ready to go into the third quarter. 53-0 St. Genevieve over Perryville for St. Genevieve's homecoming. Still in the second. Tied up at 7 in the third quarter on J98 between Festus and North County. It is North County's homecoming. DeSoto with the lead over Windsor, 13-0 in half on KJEF. Herculaneum with just a 2-point lead over Charleston, 8-6. Hillsboro leading Pacific 35-7 late in the second. And then it would be Redbud, Illinois over Jefferson R7, 27-0 at half. Those are the scores as we have them. It's the Auto Spa Car Wash Halftime Show on AM 800 KREI. Coming up next, the second half of action from Farmington and Jackson on KREI.
Discount Home Center. Custom countertops, vanities, cabinets, and doors.
Furniture, tools and paint, electrical and hardwood floors.
Plumbing and lighting, windows and tiles.
If you're building or remodeling,
we've got what you need on every aisle.
Buy it for less, we save you money. Buy it for less at the New
Generation Hoods Discount Home Center.
Need it, want it, rent it, own it. Come to Show Me Rent to Own.
Hi, I'm Gary Romine, owner of Show Me Rent to Own. If you can hear this ad, then there's a Show Me Rent to Own location near you. Want a new laptop or big screen TV? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. Need a new washer and dryer? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. We have what you want and need. Want it, need it, rent it, own it. Show Me Rent to Own.
The Show You Rental Company of the Show Me State.
Accent Marketing in Farmington. Proud to be a part of the community.
Hey, we're back at the half at Hale Memorial Stadium. Chad Speaker and Luke Mel with you. And Farmington playing against Jackson here tonight. Last week it was a ball game at the half. 17-0, and then in fact it was a 17-7 game at the end of the third against Poplar Bluff, a team that Farmington had blown out last year. Tonight, not so much. Farmington beat Jackson last year 61-19, and we're kind of headed that direction tonight, 36-7, one big play by the Indians. But as we take a look at the way that Farmington was able to score quickly, Luke, part of that was the fact that they took over with short fields several times.
Yeah, they started out Jackson's territory 4 out of 7 times. Were able to capitalize those and get a couple of touchdowns there, and really Connor DeVault fumbled a ball inside Jackson's 25-yard line. That would have been another drive that would have started inside Jackson territory, and that actual fumble resulted in Jackson's only touchdown of the half.
Yeah, and in fact, the touchdown that Jackson scored came almost right after a fumble that they had in their own end zone. That looked like it was going to result in, at worst for Farmington, a safety, at best a touchdown for Farmington, and it ended up eventually scoring free, and then Jackson was able to punt the ball again, and that's when DeVault fumbled the punt. And, well, anyway, that's how the score happened. So it really has been a one-sided affair, and our yardage figures certainly will support that. 323 first-half yards for Farmington, and I think that's particularly impressive after you told us Farmington had 4 of their 7 drives starting in Jackson territory, and they still were able to compile 323 yards.
And what's even more impressive than that is a lot of them, they had a lot of big plays that were called back on penalties. Kind of played a little bit sloppy in that second quarter, still able to rack up 36 points in the first half, despite all those penalties and even that turnover on special teams.
And that statistic, the one that Coach Vaughn won't like, 6 penalties for 60 yards. But the disparity in yardage is great. 323 yards for Farmington, only 58 total yards for Jackson. Connor DeVault had a terrific first half, 3 touchdown runs, and he had a 100-yard day in the first half, 101 on just 9 carries.
Yeah, and that's what we expect at this point in the season, seeing Connor DeVault a couple times this year. We know he's a great athlete, and whenever he gets that open hole, he's going to make some plays, and really not surprised to see that yardage, and he's a hard runner. Like I said, it only takes him about 2 or 3 steps, so he's full speed, and he really got after it, had a couple of 3 touchdowns in the first half just by himself, really leading that Farmington offense on the ground.
Anthony Greco pitching in as well, 4 carries for him and 29 yards. And Farmington is on pace anyway. You don't know how things will play out, but they're on pace for 200-yard rushers. Chase Busenbark with 9 carries and 54 yards rushing in the first half. And Chase did a nice job throwing the football as well. 12 for 14 for 2 touchdown passes. One of those touchdown passes went to Evan Dunnament. He caught the 11-yard touchdown pass. Evan also caught a 2-point conversion. And then Alex Sebastian also caught a touchdown pass, a 5-yarder. Dunnament with 3 catches and 34 yards. Sebastian with 2 grabs and 20 yards. Kyle Hartrip had a catch for 8 yards. Logan Bradley leads the team in catches and yards. 3 catches for 43 yards for Logan. A couple of those were really nice grabs. Connor DeVault has a couple of catches for 28 yards. And then Anthony Greco had a really screwball reception. It was actually a case where Busenbark was getting sacked. The ball kind of popped up, squirted free, and Greco was right in front of him for the grab.
Yeah, I think it would have been an incomplete pass had it hit the ground, but you never know. And Greco, real heads-up play there, caught it and made the best of it. Actually picked up a first down on the play, so really turned out nice for Farmington on that play.
Got 6 yards. Well, Ty Seltzer's been running for his life tonight, and part of that running for his life was a touchdown run. He had a 63-yard touchdown run on the lone score for Jackson. But even with that 63-yard touchdown run, he's only at a positive 39 for the game. He's been sacked several times. And for the Jackson Indians, they have 45 yards rushing tonight. The quarterback Seltzer has thrown for only 13 yards. He is 2 for 9. So 58 total yards by the Jackson Indians. We've got your second half coming up, but here's a little update from Major League Baseball. The Brewers winning their series, their division series, 3-2 in Game 5, and so they advanced. They won it in 13 innings, Luke.
Wow.
So they advanced. We're hoping that sets up a matchup between some NL Central rivals.
Yeah, I'd love to go back up there to Milwaukee. I mean, there was a little bit of heat back in the midsummer between the Cardinals and Brewers, a couple of hit batters, and that kind of escalated into a midsummer rivalry big time, and it'd be a lot of fun to go back up there to Milwaukee and start that NLCS. But
to do that, they would get Roy Halladay and the boys.
Got to get a little bit of work ahead of them tonight, and right now I think they're winning, but let's hope they can continue that on. And
last check, 1-0 in the third. Is that what it was?
It was in the third inning. I haven't updated it lately, but
okay, we'll check on that and let you know on the other side of this timeout. We've got our second half yet to go here at Hale Memorial Stadium. 36-7, Farmington leads at the half, and we've got your second half of play coming up in a minute right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Hi, this is Mary Lee, owner of Earth Mother Health Foods. Did you know we're the largest, most complete health food store in southeast Missouri? You know, if you're feeling tired, maybe you need to be on a good vitamin. We invite you to come into Earth Mother and get a free sample of the vitamin that you can feel the same day you take it. Now, stop by Earth Mother Health Foods. We have 3,500 square feet of products to meet your health care needs. That's at Earth Mother Health Foods, 220 East Harrison in downtown Farmington. 573-756-7852.
When Sheet Metal Contractors Air Conditioning and Heating, Local 36 contractors, say they are the indoor air specialists, they mean it. Sheet Metal Contractors will tailor heating and cooling systems specifically designed for your comfort. They offer many services and products that truly benefit your indoor air quality, such as air duct cleaning, electronic air cleaners, electrostatic filters, humidifiers, and more for commercial, industrial, and residential applications. Call Sheet Metal Contractors in DeSoto at 337-2150, where excellence prevails.
We hope you never need us, but when you do, Midwest Convenient Care will be there. From high fevers to broken bones, walk into either of our locations and you will be greeted by caring and professional staff.
I'm Dr. Guy Roberts, one of the physicians at Midwest Convenient Care. Nothing is more important than your family's health. That's why we're here.
Midwest Convenient Care, next to Lowe's in Farmington and behind Dairy Queen in Bonne Terre, or online at MidwestConvenientCare.com. Midwest Convenient Care, we're there when you need us.
Terrific ball game on our affiliate J98 boot tonight. Festus and North County tied at 7. That one in the third quarter right now. So some great football on the air tonight. You'll want to stay tuned for the End Zone program. Tom Lively will have a chat with all the coaches from around the area, see how their teams fared this week. 36-7, and Todd Vaughn's team faring pretty well over the first half of play anyway. 36-7. Now it'll be Jackson football as we start this third quarter of play. And a quick update, we did manage to look to see how the Cardinals are doing in a 1-0 lead by the Redbirds, and that one in the top of the fourth, and they were only managed to get one run off of Halladay. But to me, the first few innings for Carpenter were the key. You know, is this guy, does he have enough rest? Is he going to be good tonight? And so far, he's throwing well.
Looks like he's gave him 3 solid innings, and Halladay, they were getting to him, and the key to him is make him pitch a lot of pitches. Right now, he's getting up to about 70 pitches just through 4 innings, so you gotta like that.
Good news, don't break our hearts, right?
Yeah.
I think you can make a case that the Cardinals were playing the best baseball of any team heading in to the playoffs, because they had to just to get in.
I think in the National League, yeah, that was the case, and you see teams like, ironically, Detroit and Texas, they say we're playing the best in September in the American League, and those are the final 2 teams over there in the AL, so we'd like to see those Cardinals keep playing. I was up at the game on Wednesday, and it was an atmosphere like no other in playoff time, and I got to see the rally squirrel and everything, and maybe hoping he makes an appearance tonight. Maybe distracts.
That's exciting. I'm a little jealous. I got to admit, that was exciting stuff. But the NL Central looks pretty good with the Brewers winning, and hopefully the Cardinals can pull through here as well. Jackson going to receive the kick as we start the second half of play. Jackson in their white uniforms, red helmets, red numbers on the back and the front, and Jackson will receive to our right, so they'll be working it right to our left as we look at and describe the action for you. Farmington with 3 home games in a row will be back on the road 2 out of 3 district games. Luke and I will make the trip down to Cape Central next week, and then it's a home game against Perryville and at Sykeston to close out the regular season. Now, next year, there will only be 9 regular season games. We won't know what game number 10 is going to be. The new playoff system will come in, and that will be your first playoff game. Everybody basically gets into the playoffs, as it were, and then that week 10 is your first round game.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that when we were making our trip down to New Madrid, and it sounds a little confusing at first, but it kind of gives everybody a shot to make a case for themselves in the playoffs, and it rewards you for a good regular season, too.
I like it. I know that the praise for the system isn't unanimous, but I do like it. It'll be Connor DeVault to kick it away. Why not?
Why not? He's done everything else tonight. I think he
That's
handled
right.
the kickoff.
Garrett Miller back to receive along with Nick Cooper. So Connor DeVault from our left to our right puts his right foot into it and boots it out of bounds.
Well, can't have it all.
Guess not.
Well, we're going to see what Jackson's got in them on their offense. Couldn't really get much. Had that one long run by Seller, but that was about it. That was about the most you could get out of it. And, they tried a few trick plays in the first half. Just really couldn't get anything going. And, that's kind of the story of their season, Started off losing to a 2A team in the week 1, and they really just had a string of bad luck since then, losing a couple close ones.
Well, without Seltzer's run, they would be in negative yardage. Seltzer's run was 63 yards, and total yardage in the first half for Jackson, 58 yards. So that put him back in the black. So Seltzer going to go from the gun. He deploys 3 wide receivers to the right side and 1 off to the left side. Going to run that straight keep and tries to take it up the gut. Capias grabs him, wraps him, throws him down. Capias, and then coming on late, Connor DeVault to help out. No gain for Seltzer.
Well, we said it so many times in the first half. That defensive line is really playing well tonight for Farmington. Ethan Hennis, Amston, and Vanessa all in there. And then Roper Garrett, obviously, we've called his name several times. He's blowing up that backfield, too.
We've seen Kyle Warren and Kyle Hartrip. The Kyles back there provide some great coverage as well. Dunlap, a guy out on a corner right here doing that. Here's a 2nd and 10. Seltzer back in the gun once again. Curl route and a nice ball. One of the best balls we've seen him throw tonight to Skylar Steele. And Steele grabs it on the curl, then heads upfield, and he's got a 13-yard gain for a first down.
Yeah. Seems like at the beginning of the game they were kind of trying to stretch the field with his passing attack. And, with the limited time that Seltzer's got to throw back there, these short curls and 5-yard outs is really what he needs to get his offensive going.
Seltzer just doubled his receiving or his passing yardage with that completion. He had 13 yards passing before that one, and add 13 more right there. Twins to the right side, twins to the left. 2 running backs will flank Seltzer. That's Miller and Proffer. So the snap is back to Seltzer. And now Miller wants to throw it, chucks it down the field on the comeback route. Forbes, the ball was underthrown. Forbes comes back, but once again, Luke, it's Kyle Hartrip. And they've thrown the ball Hartrip's way on their 2 trick plays. The first play from scrimmage was a flea flicker. This time, a halfback pass, and both times Hartrip has had impeccable coverage.
And Kyle Hartrip's doing the right thing here. When you play man-to-man coverage like he's doing out those wide receivers, you follow that receiver wherever he goes. You don't read that backfield, and he didn't get fooled by any of the toss sweep and the fake pass there.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line of Jackson. Jackson will roll Seltzer to the right side. Pitches it on the out route. Pass complete. Levi Rutherford grabbed a hold. And a gain of 5 yards. Tackle made there by Kyle Warren.
Yeah, Warren did a good job following him and bringing him down. 5 yards was all he got, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down here. So, that was that 5-yard out I was talking about to kind of keep the offense going. But Farmington did a nice job, too, of stopping them where it was.
Yeah, 3rd and 5, no yards after the catch. 10:25, counting down here in the 3rd, 36-7. Farmington leading the Jackson Indians. Jackson 1-5, Farmington 5-1. Wide to the left side. 3 wide receivers. Seltzer under pressure. Here comes Roper Garrett. Pass complete along the far sideline. Forbes tippy toes. It's going to be close to a first down. It looks like he's just shy, though.
Yeah, you got to you got to have your head up and know where those sticks are. You want to be able to play. You know, those coaches are going to tell him that too. He's going to be just short, and it looks like they're going to.
Stephen Dunn checks in along with Taylor Henson. Well, for sure, this is a no-brainer. You got to go for this, don't you?
Yeah,
you're
check
down
a couple
29.
new guys in. Yeah, they're going to probably get into a power running formation here and try to pick up this 1 yard.
We've seen him operate from the gun and then also from right under center. Seltzer will come under center right here. And he fumbles the snap. It's on the ground. The play's blown up, and it will not result in a first down for Jackson. Oh, mercy. They go for it on 4th down and were unable to get a clean exchange. And Roper Garrett comes off the bottom of the pile with the ball. Fumble recovery by Roper Garrett, and it's Farmington football.
Just some of these growing pains that this Jackson's been going through all year long. Tough break for them there, but now Farmington's going to start it off on their own 45.
So Farmington won't have it quite in Jackson territory, but once again, terrific field position for these Knights. 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Motion man DeVault. DeVault grabs it on that jet sweep, finds a seam midfield. 45 breaks a tackle, puts the head down. He's crossing the 40, and yet again, a flag in the holding box for Farmington, and this thing's coming back one more time. 70 yards and penalties for this Farmington ball club tonight. That's the 4th hold.
Yeah, it was. Connor DeVault made a great play there like we've seen so many times tonight. Picked up about 15 yards, but that's all going to come back. Holding on that offensive line again.
So it's going to be a first down and a gain of 13 yards. Instead, it comes all the way back, and it'll be a 1st and 19. That jet sweep's been a nice play for Farmington in the game tonight. Twins to the right. DeVault is the slot man. Sebastian is wide. Trips to the left side. Goes Donovan Hartrip. And then a wide receiver over there. They'll fake the jet sweep from the right to the left side this time. And the keeper is Busenbark, and he gets the penalty yardage back anyway on a gain of 9.
Yeah, nice play. They faked that, put DeVault in motion there and faked that sweep, and Busenbark just reads it up the gut and picked up about 10 yards there.
So 2nd and 10. Much more manageable. Busenbark back to pass. He's got Hartrip open, goes downfield, hits him at the 30-yard line. Right between 3 defenders, put that baby right on the nose, and a gain of 27 yards.
Boy, that was a tight spiral right on a rope. Hartrip made a great job, just got his hands up, caught it, brought it down, and this time he made sure he had the ball before he made a secondary move.
Well, that was a terrific pass, wasn't it? Now the handoff is to DeVault. DeVault going to take it straight up the gut this time. Great work by Amsden, Hennis, Van Ness, the men in the middle. And it's a gain of 5 for DeVault.
Hartrip's going to have to check out of the game. Looks like he might have got cut on that last play. Or have to sub somebody else in. And officials take a timeout there until Farmington can sub somebody back in.
And they'll get in Jared Dunlap at that wide receiver spot. Dunlap, stalwart on defense in the secondary. DeVault.
Kyle Warren looks like he's getting a chance too.
Yep, Kyle Warren over there joining Dunlap on the left side. Twins to the right side, Donovan and Sebastian. Fake it to DeVault, the keeper, Busenbark. Busenbark with a little wiggle, bursts across the 15-yard line, down along those right hash marks, and down to the 13, and it's a gain of 9.
Well, Farmington, despite the penalty, they're just marching the ball down the field, kind of like they've been doing all game.
A pair of 9-yard runs by Busenbark, gives to DeVault this time. DeVault with a great cutback, slips to the right side, now powers into the end zone. Showed us everything that time. Connor DeVault, a 14-yard touchdown run. The power, the grace, the speed, and he's got his 4th touchdown of the night. Connor DeVault, as Farmington leads now 42-7 at the 8:36 mark of the 3rd frame.
Yeah, that was a great play. We've seen him do it all tonight. Really, the hole was there, but in this case, we just saw him drag a couple of guys with him across the goal line. So he's got the strength to go along with that speed.
Connor tried to head over to the sideline. They said, no, you got to kick the extra point. He's in for Logan Bradley to do that.
Well, hopefully Logan's all right. We don't really know what's happened to him yet.
Snap is good. Hold is down, and Connor DeVault earns the extra point. 8:36 remaining in the 3rd. 43-7. Farmington, Oliver Jackson got your kickoff in a minute on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Automotive Repair in Bonne Terre is proud to support high school sports. Family-owned and operated, ProCare Automotive offers ASE-certified technicians. They'll repair it once, and they'll repair it right. From oil changes to engines, import and domestic vehicles, and 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty. Drive away with confidence, not questions. ProCare Automotive Repair. Where?
It's repaired once, it's repaired right. See my daddy at ProCare Automotive Repair. 358-1112.
If you or a family member are considering dentures, you've probably seen the too good to be true denture prices. Many times there are add-on charges, adjustment charges, and hidden fees that come back to, well, bite you. Not with Dr. Mike at St. Francis Plaza Dental. Dr. Mike will outline exactly what your cost is up front and honor that cost, period. Learn more at yourgentledentist.com.
I'm Dr. Mike, your gentle dentist. I'm gentle with people and gentle with prices.
But what does Connor Duvall do for an encore? He kicks it for a touchback. Good work by Connor Duvall, and he finished off that touchdown drive. Luke, tell us about the drive.
Yeah, just about 4 or 5 plays there. They had the penalty first play of the drive, and then after that they took it 55 yards, and Duvall finished it off with a great, strong run. You know, we've seen him make some long, fast runs tonight, but that one was definitely his most exciting because he was dragging guys with him the whole way, and he wasn't stopping until he got to the end zone.
121 yards rushing for Connor Duvall tonight. And Connor's high this year, 124. So he's right there with a season high. Ty Seltzer, the quarterback, gets back in that pocket, delivers a strike. Nice hit that time by Kyle Hardrip, but the pass was complete to Trey Forbes, and it's good for 4 yards.
Yeah, Jackson sticking with that shotgun spread formation. They're going to have to pass the ball if they want to try and get back into this game. And, you know, their district starts next week, too, so they're wanting to get some things finalized and maybe give them a shot to, you know, pull off a couple wins in the next couple of weeks, and they could be playing in November, too.
Poplar Bluff, Seckman, and Rockwood Summit, all in their district. Trips to the left side, one man off to the right side. Seltzer back in that gun, looks to his left. Pocket starting to collapse. Fires it out, and the ball picked up by Sebastian. Alex has a convoy to the 20, to the 15, 10. Scoots it into the end zone. Touchdown, Alex Sebastian. A 34-yard touchdown interception return with 7:50 remaining in the third quarter. And it's all Farmington right now, 49-7.
Yeah, Seltzer dropped back in the shotgun there. He was looking for a seam route coming up the middle. Warren just read it perfectly, and, you know, he's been throwing it high all night. I kind of mentioned that earlier, and I was just waiting for one of them guys to make a play, and Warren made a heck of a play and turned it back for 6.
Boy, Sebastian showed us the speed right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Sebastian. I said Warren.
Well, they all played well.
They've had a lot of guys step up tonight, and Sebastian, we got to give him credit. I didn't mean to say the wrong name there.
And DeVault has another extra point. Another score for Farmington, 57. 7:50 remaining in the third. And we'll have a moving clock probably from here on out. Got your kickoff after this 30-second pause on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Hi, I'm Sean Waters, General Manager of Benning Ford in Fredericktown. This is Benning Country, a little different kind of dealership. Not here today and gone tomorrow. We pride ourselves on hassle-free sales of what you want and need at a price that works for you. This is my special invitation to come to Benning Ford, where the deal is always worth the drive. We are 15 minutes from almost anywhere. Take the drive, just off Highway 67 in Fredericktown, or check us out online at benningford.com.
Alex Sebastian with a highlight of his own. I thought for sure Connor DeVault was horning in for our player of the game by Megasports. Sebastian, this way. Hey, consider me, guys. Consider me.
Yeah, Sebastian, you know, he had ran a great route there in the first half on the slant route to catch that touchdown. And made a great defensive play there and turned it back for 6.
DeVault boots this thing away. It's a line drive kick and grabbed at the 5-yard line by Garrett Miller. And Miller is hit by Roper. Garrett breaks the tackle. Great return by Miller to the 40, now to midfield. And brought down by the kicker, Connor DeVault, at the Farmington 44-yard line. Terrific return by Garrett Miller.
Touchdown saving tackle by DeVault there. He heard us talking about maybe giving away his Player of the Game award, and he said, I'm going to step up on special teams and make a tackle too. But, you know, that was just a nice play by Miller there, actually hitting the holes. And, you know, sometimes that's going to happen there. You're going to have breakdowns in coverage, but give credit to Miller there for making that happen.
You bet, yeah. Nice return by Miller. Seltzer directing a little traffic here. He'll set Nick Cooper over in the slot to the right side. Twins to each side. They give us to Proffer. Proffer hits the off-tackle slot to the right side. He pushes it forward for a first down between the hash and the right sideline. Yes, it was a good run by Proffer, but that may have been one of the best blocked plays we've seen by Jackson all night.
Yeah, they've had a tough time handling that Farmington defensive front, and there they were able to get something going. And, that Proffer, the kid, like you said, he averages over 4 yards a carry. He's very capable of doing some stuff.
Saw backup quarterback Justin Boehm warming up on the sideline. We'll see if he comes in the next possession. 6.5 minutes remain in the third here. Proffer gets it again, and he had a lot of room to run last time. Not so much this time. And he's taken down after just a yard.
A little bit of a high snap there, kind of got the timing of the play off. And those are just little things that, the good teams are going to do that right. And Jackson high snap, and that kind of just messed up the timing of that running play.
Austin Dussault out there making a play. We've seen him in on the kicking game and now in on defense for Farmington as well. Some nice play by Austin. Seltzer from the gun, gets the snap, scrambles out of traffic, and completes it for a first down all the way down to the 15-yard line. Well done on a gain of 19 yards, and he completed that to Levi Rutherford.
Yeah, that was one of the better plays we've seen Seltzer make in the passing game, moving out to his left. You've seen Rutherford out there in the middle and just hit him right in the numbers. Had a couple of Farmington defenders around him, too.
Jackson has scored a touchdown, obviously, but to me, this is their best drive. The touchdown was on a single play. They've been able to string some plays together now, and this is a pass in the end zone for Skylar Steele, and Steele holds on over the top of Jared Dunlap. Tremendous pass and catch and a 15-yard touchdown strike from Ty Seltzer to Skylar Steele.
Well, and that all started with that kickoff return back into the Farmington territory. Gave Jackson a little bit of momentum, and Ty Seltzer made a couple of great throws on this drive, and another great catch there, kind of a Doug Warren-esque catch. That receiver was so much taller than Dunlap, just brought it right in over the shoulder.
I think that's a great comparison, Luke. Skylar Steele at 6'4" and 170 pounds, so a long, rangy type guy. Dunlap only at 5'6", and that's indeed exactly the type of catch that it was. So another score here, and now the extra points by Jackson's up and through. So 50-14 with 5:23 remaining in the third. And we'll tell you more on the other side of this 1-minute pause right here on KREI Farmington.
Accent Marketing in Farmington is proud to be a part of the community and is committed to being a good corporate citizen and partner in the Farmington community. Accent Marketing in Farmington wish all the area athletes a great season and encourages people everywhere to attend and support area sporting and community events. Accent Marketing believes in supporting and encouraging our area youth and believes in community in which we live. This message brought to you by your friends at Accent Marketing in Farmington.
When it's time to paint, it's time to visit County Do-It Center. Whatever your painting project requires, they have it all. Their friendly staff can mix custom colors to complement any decorating scheme and offer helpful, knowledgeable advice. The Do-It Best Quality Paint line is one of the fastest-growing private brands in the industry. At County Do-It Center, they have more than paint, lumber, and hardware. They have solutions. County Do-It Center. They have 2 great locations to serve you in Bloomsdale and St. Genevieve.
Adam Brown squibs a kick. It's taken by Ryder Garrett. Crosses midfield. Farmington ball at the Jackson 43-yard line. Ryder kind of started licking his chops there. Didn't he say, I've got a chance to do something here?
Yeah, he wants in on that highlight action. His brother's name's been getting called all night, and he said, hey, how about my name? And, wow, that kind of backfired on Jackson. They were kind of hoping to pin Farmington back in their own territory a little bit, and Garrett just made a heck of a play there.
Here's Justin Boehm. Ray Peralta checks in. Austin Herbst. Ryder Garrett. So some of the second teamers in there. Brian Capias, still a starter, still in there. Jacob Roney. And now Boehm hands it off to Greco. And Greco swarms in the backfield. Ken Maudie back there, and it's a 2-yard loss for Greco.
Another drive started in Jackson territory, and that's just the result of good special teams play, too.
Once again. Some new wide receivers in there for Farmington. Calvin Lynch playing a wide receiver spot. He also is a sophomore quarterback on this team, third stringer for Farmington. Here's a false start by the Knights. 8th penalty for 75 yards. Other wide receiver taking the field, Carl Wheeler. We've seen him a few times this year. So Carl, 6 foot, 160 pound senior. Nice to see him in there getting a shot. Justin Boehm, a capable thrower and runner. In fact, he was probably at his best against a terrific team in McClure North, Luke.
Yeah, he came in that second half for a hurt Chase Busenbark and really showed this team he wasn't ready to give up, and Coach Vaughn praised him, and he said, yeah, this kid's a heck of a player, and we saw it in that second half. He really did some good things.
Greco got a quick pitch, and he blasts forward for a 6-yard gain. Boehm, in fact, threw for 187 yards in that second half against McClure North. He was 15 for 19. Did throw a couple of interceptions, but it was a kind of a part of the game that was a high-risk type of a situation. Farmington had to go for some things. That's the way it happened. Another false start against the Knights.
Second one of the drive, and you maybe can understand that a little bit, being that we got some second stringers in there, and they're not used to playing with some of these kids, but still a lot of penalties tonight for Farmington.
Boehm back in the gun. It's a 3rd and 16 for Farmington, and Boehm rolls the pocket deeper, now fires it forward, and a terrific pass by Boehm. He hit Jacob Roney right between the right and the left hand, and it was right at the first down marker, 17 yards down the field. Roney just put it on the deck that time, couldn't catch it.
Yeah, and he was running that crossing route, and he had it and had a little bit of room to run, and he just missed it, and he knew it. He was looking down at his hands thinking, oh, I can't believe that. Saying they failed me. They'll do that from time to time. They still do.
Austin Dussault checks in to punt it away. Not bad. It's a spiraling punt on the far sideline. Rolls inside of the 20, inside of the 15, inside of the 10, and comes to rest at the 7-yard line. Well done, Austin Dussault.
Yeah, not too many times you get the backup punter that'll come in and put it in a gym like that. But it's good to know. It looks like Logan Bradley probably isn't going to come back in this game. I don't know if they're just being kind of cautious, but it's good to know you got some guys that can fill in that kicker position for him.
Be 1st and 10 for Jackson. They've got it at their own 7-yard line. They're going to keep their starting players in there. Many of them very young, though, so certainly they need that experience. Trips to the left side. Seltzer is the quarterback, and he hands it off to their tailback, Proffer. Proffer, once again, the beneficiary of some nice blocking on the right side of that line, and he rips off 10 yards.
Proffer's just a sophomore, and we really haven't seen him get to break loose. You know, he just hasn't got the holes to open up for him, but we saw his speed to the sideline there, and I tell you what, it's the first time I really got to see him burst open, and that kid's got some speed, so that Farmington's really going to have to keep him contained. The kid's got some potential there.
Not a real big guy, 5'6", 160 pounds, and as you said, a sophomore, so he'll certainly grow as the years go along. Proffer, the lone setback once again. Seltzer keeps this time. Seltzer has some room to run. First down and more to the 35, cuts again. Powers forward, he's at the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 21 yards.
A nice run by Seltzer then, and Proffer just went in ahead of him, faked the handoff there, and he followed the hole, and he had a wide open gap there, took it for, 21 yards and a first down, and Jackson's offense is moving.
Austin Dussault in there at the linebacker spot. Oprah Garrett still out there, along with it's kind of a mix of starters and subs now.
Looks like Seltzer hurt his arm. He's going to have the trainer come over here and look at it. Officials called a timeout.
He already has that right hand taped. Their starting quarterback, Logan Wren, out with an ankle injury. And now he will come over to the sideline. And coming on in relief is the split end Stephen Dunn. So Stephen Dunn actually listed as their 4th string you're talking emergency quarterback at this point.
Actually listed as a tight end and a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to start taking the snaps, it looks like, here the rest of the third quarter.
6'3", 197. He's a junior. So Stephen Dunn's first play is a handoff to Proffer. Proffer met at the line, trying to spin for some more yardage, and he manages maybe a yard. Carl Wheeler wrapped him up on a nice play. Say gain of 2 by Proffer. 13 carries for him and 35 yards.
Yeah, we got a few. Looks like we're getting a few reserves playing on the defensive side of the ball for Farmington also. and get them some experience. And like I said, depth's everything. You want to be able to go in and play their big games and know you're going to have some kids to play.
Aaron Mays checking in. What a pass! How about this by Stephen Dunn? It's one of the best thrown balls of the night as Dunn completed it to Trey Forbes for a first down and 17 yards.
Kid's got quite an arm. He just sat back there playing at his feet and threw that strike over the middle of the field for a first down. And go into the fourth quarter, and looks like Dunn's going to take over for quarterback. I don't know what Seltzer's still getting his arm checked out down there on the sideline.
Nice work. Thanks for joining us tonight on KREI and online at MyMoInfo.com. Maybe you're checking out our video of the game as well at KREI Web TV and Black Knight TV. Students helping us out with the camera work, so we appreciate their good work. We go to the fourth quarter next, 50-14, Farmington leading Jackson. We got fourth frame after this 30-second pause on KREI.
There are plenty of ways to get from point A to point B. Van, sedan, sports car, muscle car, pickup, and Shelter Insurance has covered plenty of miles and cars and drivers since 1946 with a combination of competitive rates, helpful agents, and speedy claim service. Truth is, we like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. Seek shelter today at shelterinsurance.com.
Hi, this is Jim Ropke, your Shelter Insurance agent. Come see me for all your insurance needs.
First play of the fourth quarter, a new quarterback, Stephen Dunn's in some trouble. He is caught in the backfield and then dropped for a 7-yard loss. And right there on the sack was Garrett Duncan, as some new names and faces head into the ball game. Good play by Duncan on the 7-yard loss for Dunn.
Yeah, and Dunn came back out. Looks like Seltzer's going to be able to continue in this game. He gave it a shot, threw a pretty good pass, and filled in nicely there for a couple of plays, but Seltzer's coming back in second down.
Was that Seltzer that just got sacked?
No, that was Dunn,
okay,
but Seltzer's back in now.
Okay, right. Okay, I thought it was Dunn, and now here is Seltzer, as you told us. Bluffs the pass to the right side, comes back to the left, and sails this one over the top of Taylor Henson. He left his man out to dry that time. Taylor had to stretch for it and then got tagged.
Yeah, those always feel good whenever you can get checked right in the middle of the gut, and you go back to the huddle and say, hey, thanks a lot, bud.
Hey, no kidding. Alex Sebastian with the hit right there. Third and long, 3rd and 17. Farmington going to improve now to 6-1, you'd think. Leading it 50-14. 10:50 and counting down in this fourth quarter. Jackson trying to push and make the score look a little bit better. Seltzer back in the gun once again, bearing down on him, fires it to the middle of the field, middle screen, but it's going nowhere. Pass is complete, but for no gain. And that one to Colton Proffer.
Yeah, the Farmington defense, even the backups, they snipped that one out pretty good, trying to set up that screen. Usually whenever the line releases like that, you want to keep your mind open and be like, hey, they're probably setting up a screen right here.
Brings up a 4th and long, 4th and 14. And Seltzer back to punt it away. A lot of times when coaches will put in the subs, they'll keep the special teams pretty well intact. And so we'll see Connor DeVault here on this punt return. Medium deep punt. And drops it in at the 24. Bounces actually Farmington's way once, but then takes a Jackson hop down to the 20-yard line. And Justin Bain going to lead the offense out. Calvin Lynch, as we said, one of the wide receivers. Austin Herbs, all linemen. Here comes Hunter Cochran as a wide receiver. Ray Peralta along that line. Kyle Van Ness still going to man one of those guard positions. And the handoff is to Wheeler. Carl Wheeler trying to work it outside. That's a nice one-on-one tackle over there along that right tackle slot. And the play made by Tyler Rush. 4-yard gain for Wheeler. His first carry of the night. Second and 6. And Boehm hands it off once again. Once again, it is Wheeler. Wheeler went down, but used his offhand to steady himself, and then scrambled back upright, and he's close to a first down here.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by Carl. He's a senior. You know, we don't get to see him too much, but when he does get in, he's going to give you everything he's got.
Nice run by Wheeler. And indeed, he does have a first down. Wheeler's got it again. Wheeler attacks that left tackle. He cuts back, pushes forward, second effort, and the ball is loose. A lot of times it'll come loose on that second effort. They were ripping at it. And as the officials come in to sort things out, they say Farmington football. The recovery made there. I think that was Peralta.
No, they're going to give it to Jackson. It looks like they just... Oh, no, he had us all confused. He pointed one way, and then he turned around and pointed the other.
I just saw Peralta come out of the pile with it, and then the officials signaling some things. That was an 8-yard gain, by the way, by Wheeler.
The official might have got hit down there, and he was a little confused at which direction he was at.
So 2nd and 2. Clock continues to count down to the 7:42 mark of the fourth quarter. 50-14. It's all Farmington in this one. Wide receiver Hunter Cochran off to the left side. Keeper by Boehm. And Boehm is smothered. Gained a yard. And then brought down rudely by Matt Zeller. Middle linebacker.
Well, we know what Boehm can do. He's got that running ability just like Busenbark. And if he gets out there, he can be off to the races himself. And we got a 3rd and short here. And 4 wide.
30 yard, Wheeler and Boehm in the backfield. Boehm the quarterback, Wheeler is the running back. And the give is to Wheeler. Nice blocking, and Wheeler kind of picks his way through for a 5-yard gain. Nice work by that line.
Nice work by the line. A couple of kids getting a little bit of time in there that usually don't. And nice job by Carl Wheeler, who's taking the opportunity and showing his coaches that, yeah, I can play too.
Adam Maple in on that line as well. 6'3", 310-pound sophomore. Not a bad guy to run behind, apparently. 1st and 10. Farmington has it at its own 45, and Wheeler's got it again. Wheeler stumbling forward, and he gains a couple of yards there. Going to see who got up at the bottom of that pile by the defense, because that really was a nice stop. And then Ken Maudie, we've said his name a few times tonight. A couple of yards for Wheeler. Wheeler with 5 carries already now and 25 yards. Busenbark no longer in, but he had 72 yards on 11 tries. And Boehm calls his own number, holds on to it, and is able to only gain a pair that time before being tackled by Kyle Greenwaltz.
Yeah, Chase had a pretty good night. Ran the offense pretty good, and not one of his more explosive nights that we've seen this season, but, Connor DeVault kind of stepped in and took over that business.
Sure did. It's looking like Evan Dunneval might have our catch of the game. Whoa, what a hit. Woo! That was a pass intended out there for a wide receiver, but Devin Wolpers made sure that it did not happen.
Yeah.
Yikes, he tagged his man. I think that pass was intended for Calvin Lynch. It was, and he just about got lynched on that one. My goodness.
Coach Vaughn wasn't too happy with that. Sometimes some might look at that as a cheap shot, but, that's all fair. Whenever the ball gets tipped in the air, that receiver, as long as he's not defenseless, he can get hit like that.
I think we're going to make Donovan's catch our Captain D's catch of the game. He had more crunch for his lunch. Captain D's across from the Family Center on Highway 221 in Farmington. Donovan's spinning touchdown catch. Dussold in to punt it away. Has a personal protector in front of him. This thing blasting off of his right foot. Knocks it out of bounds at the Jackson 22-yard line. 4 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in our ball game. 50-14. Todd Vaughn wanted a good, quick start by his team, and I think for the most part he got it.
Yeah, he did. Farmington really came out in that first quarter, played well defensively, and marched the ball down the field. It helped. They started off in Jackson's territory so many times in the first half, like we talked, and, despite a few penalties, they were able to put it in the end zone several times and really got off to that quick start before Jackson even got on the board.
Nicky Greco in a cornerback spot. There's Kobe Moon. Greco at a safety position. And once again, Stephen Dunn playing quarterback for this club. Throws it along that far sideline. Pass intended for Taylor Henson, but defensed well by Trey Amsden. And it's incomplete.
Yeah, Dunn, pretty tall kid. He's 6'3", junior. He stands back there in that pocket. He can launch it a ways. That one was a little bit over the head of his receiver. Maybe Jackson's coach was thinking, all right, we've seen his arm strength. Let's see if he can maybe get us something going here.
So Dunn, the quarterback. See, I have Proffer beside him. I believe he does. And a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Hands it off to Proffer. Proffer tackled in the backfield. Great hit by Garrett Duncan. And a loss of a couple of yards.
Duncan getting in on there. He's He's rowdy. He's going to get back in there, and he's going to break it up.
Garrett Duncan, just a sophomore, 5'11", 160 pounds. Well done. Joining him on that line, Andre Turner and Adam Maple. Saw him on the offensive side as well. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 50-14. All Farmington in this one. Dunn grabs it from the gun, chucks it down the field, and this ball is intercepted by Farmington's Trey Amsden. Amsden returning it. The ball hatcheted away from him. Trying to dive on top of it there was Kobe Moon, but Jackson's got it back on the fumble.
Oh, man. Now, I know Trey's dad. He's a friend of mine, and he's probably going to give him a little bit of trouble for that. Trey made a great play there on that interception. Just couldn't hold on to it, bringing it down to the ground. But, you know, he did make a great play, but he's got to get another shot at it as Jackson recovered the fumble.
This is kind of the second time that Jackson has avoided a play that could have gone horribly wrong and kind of used it to their benefit. Ball that was snapped over their head, they kind of spun into a positive eventually, and right here they throw an interception and end up getting a first down out of it.
Well, maybe his uncle Brendan Hampson over on the sideline will talk to him about that play whenever the game's over with.
Handoff in the backfield. It's Nick Cooper. Cooper breaks 2 tackles. He's forward near first down yardage. Gains about 8. That's his first carry of the night. Thought I'd remembered him before, but apparently not. Cooper gains 8. And the clock rolling down, minute 45, and counting down in our ball game. Cooper, the lone setback, and gets it again. Tests the middle of the line, nothing doing that time. Farmington stiffens. Helping out on the play was Elijah McBride. Needed 2 yards. Boy, they said he got it. I thought that maybe they'd stopped him, but nope, he just picked it up. Nick Cooper. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play in this one. Last year, a 61-19 Farmington victory. And Farmington looking for its 4th straight over Jackson. Never losing to the Indians in conference play here. Big hit that time. That was a crunch. And Austin Dussault with one of those crown collisions right there.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with Robert Garrett with our crown collision hit of the game. That first half, he was just in that backfield non-stop, and you could hear him up here whenever he was hitting their pads.
Disruptive would be a bit of an understatement. Snaps back to the quarterback, Dunn. Dunn firing it to the middle of the field. Pass is intercepted by Zach Grief, and he intercepts it while taking a knee. So the first interception of the year by Zach Grief, and nice job dropping back into coverage right there. 17 seconds and counting down. Farmington does not have to run another play with this clock moving. 50-14. We're going to step aside and then come back with some of your post-game coverage, and we'll figure out who our Mega Sports Player of the Game is as well. Farmington a winner, 50-14 over Jackson. And the Knights now 6-1 on the season. Jackson falling to 1-6. Your post-game in a minute, right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Stop. Don't do it. Don't buy a pre-owned vehicle without seeing what Auto Centers Bonne Terre can do for you. Hi, I'm Jason Hale, owner, Auto Centers Bonne Terre. And because we sell our entire inventory every month, I guarantee our cost is lower, ensuring you a better price, better trade, and ultimately better payments. Come buy it right at Auto Centers Bonne Terre.
When it comes to collision repair on your vehicle, call Brad Wooten and the team at Crown Collision Center. For 9 straight years, Crown Collision Center has been ranked 3rd in the nation in customer satisfaction at 98%. Recognized by Motor Trend magazine, they perform all collision repairs on any make and model, foreign or domestic. All done by factory-trained certified technicians, and they're 5-star rated. State-of-the-art facility, and all work carries a written lifetime warranty. Call Brad Wooten for your collision repair at Crown Collision Center, 800-996-2566.
Farmington a winner tonight, and 50-14 over the Jackson Indians. Our total yardage numbers look like this. 420 total yards for Farmington tonight, 181 for Jackson. Jackson is led in rushing by their quarterback, Ty Seltzer, 8 carries and 60 yards. Seltzer threw the ball. He threw it 15 times, completed 8 of them for 74 yards, and also an interception thrown by Dunn as he played some emergency quarterback late in the game. 91 yards passing for Jackson, 90 on the ground, so 181 there. I think I like Connor DeVault as our player of the game. 4 touchdowns on the ground. That's not a bad night.
Yeah, I mean, he was just getting after it from the start. The kid made some great plays, made some real tough runs, carried some guys with him. When he got the open holes, he was just off to the races. And, Farmington didn't do a whole lot in the passing game without Doug Warren this week, but Connor DeVault picked it right up with the rushing game, having his best game of the season so far.
Yeah, he sure did. 121 yards rushing for him. He just had 2 carries in the second half. He had 101 at halftime. Anthony Greco helping out, 6 carries, 33 yards for him. Carl Wheeler got in on the action late, 5 carries and 25 yards for him. And then Chase Busenbark, another nice rushing performance by him at the quarterback spot. 11 tries for him and 72 yards. 254 yards on the ground by Farmington. Farmington, a ball club that averages 146 on the ground. So I think a tip of the cap to the line play tonight for Farmington.
Oh, absolutely. And, wanted to get off to a fast start, and it really started with the offensive line and the defensive line. Those guys just played great, I think those, you can credit all those linemen that played great all day long, and, they got it in Jackson's face on the defensive side, and they were able to push them around on the offensive side and make holes for those runners like DeVault, Busenbark, and even in the end, Wheeler.
Busenbark throws 15 times tonight. He completes 13. That's pretty good. He does it for a couple of touchdowns, 166 yards for him, so definitely an efficient performance for him. Evan Dudham had 3 balls, 34 yards, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Logan Bradley caught 3 balls for 43 yards, and Alex Sebastian with 2 grabs for 20 yards. One of those was a touchdown. Kyle Hartrop had 2 catches for 35, and Connor DeVault had a couple of grabs for 28 yards. Anthony Greco had a kind of a screwball catch for 6 yards. The only negative really for Farmington tonight, 9 penalties, 83 yards, something they'll probably work on.
Yeah, and I expect Coach Vaughn, we're probably going to get to talk to him here in just a second, and I expect that's something he's going to note, because, they want to start playing their best ball this time of year, and that's definitely going to be a concern. You get against a little bit more experienced, tougher opponent, and Cape Central's coming up next week, and district play is really important, and this team's got a winning record. This is going to be one of the first teams with a winning record besides McClure North that Farmington's going to go up against, so they're really going to have to be ready.
Luke and I will have your coverage for you next week on KREI. Farmington will head to Cape Central to start district play. Jackson limps into district at 1-6. They will go to Poplar Bluff. Our thanks to Kathy Capias back in the studio. We invite you to tune in to our End Zone program hosted by Tom Lively on all of our stations and, of course, online at mymoinfo.com. For Luke Mell, I'm Chad Speaker. I hope your home team did well tonight. Now I'm going to go join mine.